screen one. Did that work? That doesn't have you. Oh, you're there now. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone, friends and family, and other people that are neither of those together. Hello, how are you this wonderful evening? I'm joined here with my good friend Jake from State Farm. And not J&J Tabletop.
That is an original introduction.
Completely unique and original introduction that's never been done before, because I am very original.
I used to wait tables, and I would get that so often.
What's up, Glaric? How you doing, man? Yeah, we're gonna look at this playtest. I know I kept myself clean and free of any spoilers of this, aside from what little Jake has told me. I know you said you did a little bit of looking in it, right? Oh man, he's already gone.
No, I was putting it in the Discord.
Oh, you know what? I need to I'm such a bad YouTuber, man.
See?
I know.
Good. All right, I am the captain now. So yes, I have looked at this briefly. A couple things. I have some rogue soapboxes that I'm imagining we'll probably get to at some point. I was really proud to see some of our druid ideas on the collab that we did were actually used. I like to think it's because I put it in the survey feedback. So all of D&D land can thank us for that.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So that's a thing. Hello, Glaric. I see you in chat. I've never seen you in person. If you see me in person, maybe I have a larger problem on my hands than I realize.
I was gonna say.
Either way,
I would hope you wouldn't. Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Hold on a second. Keep talking a little bit more.
Okay, so yeah. There's 7 classes here. We've got the bard, the cleric, the druid, the monk, the paladin, ranger, and the rogue. There's some new subclasses too, including the College of Dance and the Circle of the Sea.
Ah, okay, there we go. Got it.
Circle of the Sea, I think. Well, I want to hear what Lee says before I say anything about it, because I know druids are that's your baby.
That's my, yeah. I know you told me a little bit about monks too. So, and those, it's funny that you mentioned both of those, because druids are my favorite, but monks are also they were up there as one of my favorites, fighting with druid for a little while there.
It's a great fantasy. I love the monks. I feel like there are some classes where the mechanics don't really feel like it hits it for me. And the monks would be one of them. But I like what they did here. So.
All right. Well then I guess where do we start? What do you want to start with? Because we're not going over all these damn pages. There's what, 72 of them.
I was gonna say the beginning, but I'm along for the ride.
All right, so you mentioned the bard. You said something about the bard.
Yeah.
You did.
The bard actually is my favorite class, so.
Okay. So let's take a look at this then. So what did you take a look at the bard previously before this or no?
Mostly just the design notes. I kind of just made sure I hit each one of those.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Which helps a lot.
So it's original 2014, so they didn't like the reaction inspiration.
They kept the reaction, actually.
Oh, did they? Oh, with the following changes. Inspiration die is used in a response of failing. Okay, I liked that change initially when it happened. I thought that was helpful.
There's nothing worse than...
Hey, here's your dice. Don't forget it.
Yeah, that's... and it's such a powerful mechanic. Like if you're a bard and you're in a group with someone using sharpshooter or great weapon master, they're like, yeah, I'm trying until I might miss, and then I'm gonna do my thing. So it's a subtle thing, but it increases the damage output of your team so much.
It really does. It's such a good thing that a lot of people tend to forget about, honestly. Okay, what does this say? You no longer have to guess whether you failed. Yay! Creature has up to an hour, not just 10 minutes to use the die. Okay, that's a just quality of life thing change. The healing option in the previous Bard playtest has been removed because on playtesting, the healing option was encouraged too much usage hoarding. Okay.
They say that a few times on a few things, so a lot of things went back
to where they originally were.
Yeah, so like when he says like wait till you fail, I think like you still give the die to someone, but then they decide when they fail.
Got it.
If they want to use it or not. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that's so. Did they make it? Did you look at the subclasses? Did they make much changes in terms of subclasses for the bard?
I didn't look at subclasses too much, except for College of Dance. I briefly looked over that last night,
Dance.
and I watched Jeremy Crawford.
You know what? Yeah, I forgot he made a video, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not much there, but there's a lot of little like. For those of you who are familiar with, I'll say 4E. I feel like there's a lot of 4E driftings in the updates.
Yeah.
So like if you do different things, like you can grant free movement that doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. It's a pretty interesting thing, and they have an unarmored defense. They're like your dancing monk, kind of a thing. Like think about that. Those are usually your top two, your dexterity and charisma. I mean, it's not. I mean, you can have it's very realistic to think your natural armor class will just be 17.
So, I mean, I'm looking at this right now, right?
Yeah.
Unarmed strike. Are they proficient?
Well, if you keep going down to the next page a little bit, you can use your dexterity instead of your strength. And when you deal damage, you deal bludgeoning damage equal to a roll of your bardic.
Got it. Okay. I'm glad we got there. I was like, wait a minute, that sounds terrible. Okay, it's on the next page.
1 point. Ha 1 point.
1 point man, not one punch man.
No, but I mean, this is you're basically a monk with a full spellcaster suite of spells. So this is clearly not going to make it.
Yeah, you effectively get a free punch for your bonus action. Wait, when you expend it as a bonus, as a part of an action, a bonus action reaction, you can... Okay, so it's literally just an add-on to one of those actions. It's not even its own action. It's an add-on to that current action that you're using to spark. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. Normally, this kind of stuff is attached to, like, you can use your bonus action to do this thing now. But yeah. I like that a lot.
Now, if you you expend a use of your bardic inspiration as part of an action, so like I guess.
Oh no!
How does that exactly work? So like if you, as part of your action.
What do you mean as part of my action?
So you expend the use of your bardic inspiration as part of an action. So you just.
Well. It? Where's the inspiration? Where does it say bardic inspiration? Here we go. As a bonus action, you can inspire another creature with 60 feet. When you
inspire yourself, or like if you use an action that also can somehow use a bardic inspiration.
I guess whenever you use a charge of it, that's what it sounds like.
It's just as an action. I'm something about that.
Feels weird.
Wordy.
Well, do they have any? Well, let's find out. Bardic inspirate. Okay, doesn't actually tell me anything. Inspiration. Here we go. Let's see what we get. Boink, 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 boink. Bardic inspiration. Has returned to 5th level. Out of uses. Level 1 Bardic Inspiration. Number of uses. Higher levels. Oh, wait. At higher levels, your inspiration die changes the die you roll. Nothing. That's not good looking. Yeah, it looks like the only Bardic Inspiration that's, at least with my quick find search, it does seem really weird that they would say as part of an action.
So it's like someone else's action? Because like I just think like if I'm in a group with you, right? You're a bard, you inspire me. I'm a fighter, right? I swing and I miss, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to use the inspiration die. Like, well, that's weird.
Yeah. Well,
right? Because that's my action, not yours. Then that's just something about that's
yeah.
off.
I think it's just worded funkily. That's worded. Right. That's definitely a word.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, inspiring movement. That's a bonus action. Oh, you can use your reaction. Here we go. So here, call it to dance. You get to use your reaction to use Bardic Inspiration to move half your movement speed. So that would be a reaction that you could just use to get a free attack in when you're using that Bardic Inspiration. So there's one. There's your reaction.
Yeah, but it's a part of an action. That's
when you roll initiative, you can spend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration if you don't have the incapacity. When you do so, choose a number. No. I don't see where the action's coming into play here. Oh, wait. Otto's Irresistible Dance. You can cast it without expending a spell slot. And you can restore use of the feature by...
Spell is so good, actually.
Wait, it really is. Maybe not. I don't know. Beguiling magic. What is this? Man, I don't know. I don't see it anywhere.
I'm
What's
a
up?
little lost
Is it
on what that
Mager?
means.
Mager? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. 117. How we doing? We're looking over the bard now, but yeah, I don't know where that action's coming from. That's worded either very strangely or we're just missing something very obvious, which is very possible if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah, that's the first time really we're diving into it.
Yeah, exactly. And quite honestly, what is it? 72 pages we looked at. So
I wish it was 72.
What was it? 70
77.
77. Yeah, it's a
crazy.
lot, to be fair. So there's a lot to miss. All right. Well,
So if there's some way you use your action to do a bardic inspiration, you can as part of an action, a bonus action, or a reaction.
yeah. So whenever you use your bonus action inspiration,
So I is smart, I is kind, I is important because I only was thinking as an action.
whatever.
So
Well, I mean, there you go. As soon as you be like, "Hey, you can do it," bah! Just
it's
punch
just an additional free
attack.
basically monk moment for
Yeah.
the bard.
You get to be your monk self.
Yeah.
College of Glamour. What is this? Mantle of Inspiration. Now grants
in
a number of
Xanathars, yeah.
temporary hits points determined to a roll of Bardic Inspiration. Enthralling Performance. Yep, and redesigned. Okay. You ensure you always have the command spell prepared and you can restore the use of your feature by expending a spell slot of 3rd or higher. And Unbreakable Majesty now triggers on creatures hitting you and can negate the hit. That's good. I like that.
Majesty.
But they doesn't seem like they changed much here though.
No. Pretty light.
Yeah, pretty light in terms of changes for that. They did Jeremy, I did see that he mentioned that there were new subclasses added. And you kind of hinted earlier about the druid one, but we'll get to that in a minute. We're doing good, Mager. I'm gonna keep saying Mager because I don't know how to pronounce your name. So, hello, friend. We're doing good. How you doing? Okay, the lore is the classic one, right? Lore is the classic bard that came with the 2014, right?
That's my favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
Very first bard I ever played.
What did they change here? Call me Sally and slap me in the face. Oh, I'll call you Sally, but I won't slap you. It'll be very difficult. I can slap. Hold on a second. Let me do this.
No.
Yep.
Don't-
Here we go. Hold on.
Don't hit me.
Where is my? Oh no, you're behind me. Hold on, I gotta get in front of you. Oh, streaming is a wonderful world. As primarily a YouTube friend, it's very rare that I get to fuck around with cameras and stuff like that. It is great.
It's different. I started at Twitch, so I understand.
Yeah, this is all new world for me, really.
Yep.
Oh no! Yeah, you failed your deck save there, Jake.
It's not the first time.
As someone who loves Bard and Monk, you love the dance subclass. I mean, it's Bard Monk, right? What's not to love?
It's a Mard.
It is a Mard. Yeah.
Or a Bunk. Bunk.
I like the Bunk better. Yes. Beware the Bunk. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting. It's very unique comparatively. Like Jake said, it's a full spellcaster with like a little dip into monk almost, right? So,
yeah.
And it doesn't even cost your bonus action, which is freaking great. It's just like a,
Just part of when you use that thing.
yeah.
That inspiration.
So did lore change much? Can once more damage reduce? The damage reduction was absent from the previous bard test because of the now removed healing feat. Okay, so the reduced damage is still there. Did they change cutting words, or is it still terrible?
Cutting words isn't bad.
No, wasn't it? Wasn't cutting words terrible? Or what am I
You
thinking
can
of?
reduce damage. I mean, I would typically rather just try and block the whole. I guess. I mean, if you're gonna compare it to what a bardic
Nope,
inspiration
I'm
could
mistaking
do.
it with counter song, counter
Counter
song,
charm is better now.
counter charm. Did they? Okay.
It did.
That's
Yeah,
what I was mistaking it with. That's why I said it was bad.
that got
Cutting
a
words
buff.
is good.
Counter charm, it's 7th level. You can use musical notes or words of power to disrupt mind-influencing effects. If you or a creature within 30 feet of you fails a saving throw against an effect that applies the charmed or frightened condition, you can use your reaction to cause the save to be
There it
rerolled.
is. Nice. Okay.
And the new roll has advantage.
Ooh, that's pretty nice. That's really good.
That's much better.
I will say, as a dungeon master for 5e1, whatever the heck they're gonna call this,
I'm just calling it 5.5.
yeah, I'm just gonna say D&D because whatever. I'm really scared about the amount of reactions players have access to now with that kind of stuff. You know, with
I think there's gonna be a lot of competition for those reactions, though.
yeah, 100%. I was
You just gotta make sure they need to use it 2 or 3 times.
yeah, but when you have 4 players, each with their own unique reaction
just
abilities.
pick on one. Just pick on one.
Yeah. What did I just released the must-have enchantment spell video I just put out. I put silvery barbs in there.
Yes.
Right?
I see that. I did. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you did. You commented on it.
I did. I just forget the names of stuff sometimes.
No, yeah. Everyone was like, it's great spell. Put it in the game. I don't ban it. Why would I ban it? It's done. But then you go to the D&D Beyond page, right? And it's just as you go down the list. But then you have like that. You got absorb elements. You got shield, and I'm a huge proponent of using reactions in ways that are more than just defensive, right? I don't know. I feel like they're throwing a lot of stuff into the reaction pool, with this counter charm thing, and I love it, and it's making it a counter spell effectively, right? But realistically speaking, you got counter charm, you got counter spell, you got shield, you got absorb elements, you got silvery barbs. At some level, counter charm, counter spell, silvery barbs are kind of the same thing, right? Like.
Yeah, I mean, effectively, they all try to do its own thing. The thing about this counter charm, like, I see no like limit either. It's not like amount of times for your charisma modifier or anything like that. It's just you have it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You can just do that anytime you want.
I didn't even think about that too. Yeah, it's not even limited by spell slots, right? It's your.
I could see them maybe nerfing that a little bit, or.
Well, yeah, because if we're being honest, the bards, anyone who's playing a bard probably going to have at least a 16 in charisma. At level at level 7, you're probably going to be around 18, right? Like,
I think so.
But yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's something to think about, right?
Yeah. But I mean, the thing I thought was pretty interesting was we were DMing a little bit today for the bard. Your spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose which is your home spell list.
Oh,
Arcane,
yeah, you mentioned
Divine,
that.
or Primal.
I'm sorry if I'm making anyone dizzy by zooming up and down the thing.
So basically, like, I mean, typically they're looked at as an arcane caster. You know, at least in modern days, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have your magical secrets, so you could still get stuff from other lists, but you could... If you want to be like the ultimate support, so like, all right, I'm a divine bard with bardic inspiration.
You know what? I love that though, because like, think about it.
Too.
Name all of the arcane casters, right?
Yeah, sorcerer, wizard, warlock,
bard, right?
Bard would be, yeah.
Yeah, name the primals.
Druid, ranger.
Fine.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm talking real spellcasters.
The true ranger
sorry, Josh.
Doesn't cast spells.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh no, what did I walk into?
Yeah,
just play a fighter.
So it's a very heavy leaning towards arcane, obviously.
Yes.
Not that that's necessarily a bad thing per se, but like if you want a primal cast, like a legit primal caster, gotta be a druid. Sorry.
Yeah. Not no more.
But I like that a lot. That's really cool. Because that also ties into the flavor of the bard too, right? Like,
they just there's no two that are the same. I think is kind of the thinking, and I mean, this is a playtest, right? Let's see what happens.
I think that's my favorite change of the whole thing, with the whole bard. Like, it's such a simple change that really opens up the whole damn class, honestly.
Yeah.
Because bard still gets like magical secrets and stuff with like spell choices later on down. So even if they do go like a weird spell list, they can still go back into important spells that they have in the others lists. So
one thing I like about this though is if say you do want to go arcane, you don't have access to like healing word like you. I mean, that was almost just you always just took that because you're like, yeah, I'll be the emergency. Oh, you went down, let me get you a healing word.
Yep.
You're back up. So like this does kind of force. I kind of like when you have more choices, but the choices feel a little more impactful.
Oh yeah.
And this kind of feels that way to me.
100%. That's what I think was really, and I talk about this in like every freaking video. I think that's one of the huge things that was missing in 5e when it initially came out, was that everything was almost like too boxed in, right? Where, you know, you can multi-class, you can dip here and there, but like at the end of the day, a bard is an arcane caster, right? Like you can get a healing word for your magical secrets or whatnot, but that's all you're going to be getting, right? At this time, if you go to the primal or whatever, or divine, you can get those healing spells, and then you know what? I also want Entangle. Ooh, that's a fun one, right? Like, I want Moonbeam, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I made a homebrew sorcerer subclass called Fey Magic Sorcerer, and like it was just the druid equivalent of the Divine Soul in that way.
Yeah.
And so many people were like, "Yo, dude, like, you're just gonna give them access to the whole thing?" I was like, they still know like 3 spells.
Yeah.
They're sorcerers. Like, why is that broken?
It looks like
and then they're
Sally
like,
loves
that's
them
a good
too.
point, huh?
Sally loves your sorcerers too, man. It's got to be those sorcery points. I'm in love with sorcerers. Everyone's in love with sorcerers. No one wants to do the hard work like a wizard would do.
It's because it's your X-Men of the group.
It is. It literally
it's that
is.
Maybelline. You were born with it, baby.
Oh man, that's great.
Hashtag not sponsored.
You know what? Odd sponsor as it might be, I'd take it.
Like, I don't know how you're gonna.
I don't know how we're gonna work this out, but I'll work it out.
Yes.
All right,
and work it out.
Exactly. All right, that's enough bard mumbo. Let's head over to the cleric. What do we got for the cleric here?
So the divine order was the holy order, the thing that was like, are you a warrior priest? Are you a magic priest? That's back to level 1 instead of level 2. And they just combined the scholar and thaumaturge. So
not much change. It looks like they
on that one, no.
Yeah.
But
spell preparation.
Spell prep, I believe, is the same. But divine intervention and greater divine intervention, I think, were the highlights there for me. What I saw.
Here we go. Channel divinity, cleric subclass.
Yeah.
Smite undead, wisdom modifier rather than your proficiency bonus. Okay, so that's a bit nerfed.
Yeah.
Kind of. Actually, it wouldn't be nerfed. It'd be more just scaled with level, right? Yeah.
Kind of lateral, because you could start off with a high wisdom, but it never changes really. Or
did they change Song of Restoration from expert playtest? Bards get healing with their magical secrets. That's a good question. Let's find out. Song of Restoration.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Is that was the healing thing that they got away with because of hoarding? They thought.
Oh, that must have been their other bardic inspiration use. Yeah, they got rid of that.
Yes, they did that with a lot of the things.
Yeah.
Same thing with the druid one too.
Oh, the use of the wild shape thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they got rid of that Glarok. I think they said that it was just too much homogenizing of one resource. Right.
Yeah. They just want people to use the options that are there instead of, because if you never use it, it's the same as not having it.
Yeah, if you have too many choices, it's too many. You know, and there's obviously clearly one better one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just the nature of how it goes. What do we got? You said Divine Intervention and Greater Divine Intervention have been redesigned to allow a reliable result.
I think this is worth looking at.
Okay. I know what Divine Intervention is, which is what do you mean more reliable result, which kind of scares me.
You can call on your deity or pantheon to intervene on your behalf. As a magic action, choose any divine spell of 5th level or lower that doesn't require a reaction to cast. This includes rituals, by the way.
Okay.
As part of the same action, you cast that spell without expending a spell slot or needing material components. You get it once per long rest.
I mean, that's cool. That's really cool.
Raise Dead. Flame Strike.
It's really cool. But, like...
It was too... the design behind it was too vague.
You're right. It is 100% vague. And I do like this ability. I like this ability a lot. But my god, I love just dropping in orbital holy nukes on people when these succeed with like a 3, okay? It's fantastic. But I get it. I get the reason why they did it. It makes sense. I do like the ability. It's good, but...
That is at least what Jeremy Crawford was talking about.
Yeah.
But then take a look at level 20, Greater Divine Intervention.
You're able to call on even more powerful Divine Intervention. When you use Divine Intervention, you can choose Wish when you select a spell. If you choose... Okay. So you just get a free cast of Wish.
Yes, but if you do that, it's 2d4 days before you can do it again.
If you need to cast Wish more than every week, once a week, it's probably an issue that you have.
The odds of you surviving the campaign are low. So
exactly, right? Like, whatever, man. Have at it.
Yes.
Like,
it's like, I just got my hand stuck with some sovereign glue, but, you know, we're good.
I can wait a week. It'll be fine. Oh, man. So, question for you. Maybe you know this, because I don't know it off the top of my head.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Pressure.
Yeah, gaining spells in D&D. When you level up, you get to choose, and you get a new spell slot level, right? You get to choose however many spell slots of those spells to learn automatically, right?
Depends on the class, I think, if I understand you correctly. But
So like if a cleric goes from level 2 to level 3, they get 2 second level spell slots, which means they get to learn 2 second level spells for free, correct?
I thought they just prepare to. Is that different now?
Oh, sorry, you're right. Cleric have spells. Sorry, you're right.
So that's what it depends on the class, right?
No, yeah, you're right. I forgot clerics were a know-everything class.
They're know-it-alls.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of know-it-all clerics.
Okay, like sorcerer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if they go to like 2 level 3, they get to pick 2 free second level spells that they learn. Yeah.
Well, they just follow the progression of the prepared spells column.
Yeah, but I'm saying is like out of the second level spells, right? They can choose 2 of them because they got 2 spell slots to learn for free.
It's been changed.
They did change that.
It could be anything like it was originally.
Okay, then that was my question then, because
yeah.
My question was like, if you get to level 20 or you get to level 17 and you can pick a 9th level spell, what's to stop anyone from picking Wish? Except every single DM saying you can't pick Wish, you know?
Yeah, I think it can be fun to have games where magic is rare. So like, we have a homebrew setting that we haven't really done much with it yet. But it's like a low, I like I say it's a low fantasy setting, but it's like a magic is highly regulated magical knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Have a good night, Magger, Mager, Sally.
And because of that, I thought it would be interesting. Like, you still get more spell slots, but like, you don't just get spells.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go on quests or find them or like work for the organization that regulates magic. Like, that could be fun, but that could also be really annoying. You got to make sure you're on the same page with your players. But
yeah.
If magic is that rare, though, it could be like incredibly special comparatively.
I love that idea. What was it? There was someone. It was Blue Dragon Guild. I think that's what it was. The guy you were talking to me this afternoon about. They put out a video about. Their most recent video was about legendary items at level 1 characters.
I saw that, yeah.
Right? And I watched it, and I was like, okay, take a step back and listen. I was like, wait, okay. I've played around with this idea for a while, and I really like the concept of evolving items, right? I think
a vestige.
Like a vestige kind of thing, right? I think that's super cool. And it doesn't even have to be a magic item per se, right? It can be an item that they get more proficient with, and that's how the item gets better. They're more proficient with it, right? Mm-hmm. But that's the kind of thing that I lost my train of thought entirely. What was I talking about?
Legendary items.
Before that, what were we talking about?
Wizards, magic regulations.
Yes, gaining things, searching for things and finding things, right? Earning things. I think that would be a super cool concept for an entire game, right? Is you have a spell book with Mage Hand, Thaumaturgy, and Firebolt. You know, here you go. Here's your spell textbook. Yeah. Go find spells out in the world. Yeah, you literally like Dovahkiin finding a dragon wall, right, or a shout wall, or
that'd be awesome. A post-apocalyptic magical thing, and now you have to rediscover the secrets of
that. Oh my god, that is such a good idea for a campaign. Yeah. We get writing. You need to get writing that, or I'm gonna write it.
That's kind of what our.
Perfect. Good. I'm awesome. I love that. Spoilers.
The name of the campaign setting is Ivlar.
Oh, okay. Well, then, I'm gonna stop talking about it. Anyways, but yes, that's awesome. That's something cool that I love about it too. Is you get the whole, becoming fulfillment of a character, right? Step 1 to step, self-made kind of character deal. Whereas, everything is, I'm level 5 now. I get 3rd level spells. Hand me my fireball, please. Right?
Well, do you?
Exactly. Hey, what's up, Doric? Ulas is Doric. Again, I pronounced them wrong. I apologize. I don't know how long we're going to stream. It depends on how long Jake's available, and I'm just going to go through this with him until our eyes cross or until he has to leave.
There's a good chance of both happening at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, let's keep going then. So that was the change with the cleric. Yeah, not much change there aside from divine intervention and then some spell casting stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really look at the subclasses. Warding Flare you can use to protect yourself at the beginning. Instead of having to wait till I think it was level 6 previously, if I remember correctly. That was the first cleric domain I played because Fireball. And,
yeah. Oof. It's a big call. A lot of people fall for that, man.
Oh, actually, Trickery domain I thought was really cool. Look at Invoke Duplicity.
I love that. I love the name of that feature just starting off with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ulas, see you in a bit. If we're still around, we'll see you. As a bonus action, you can expend 1 use of your channel divinity to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space, and you create a perfect visual illusion of yourself in that space that you left. The illusion lasts a minute, but if it ends early if you have the incapacitated condition, or dismiss it. That's really cool. Wait a second. When the illusion persists, you gain the following benefits. Cast spells through you where the illusion space was. So
either spot.
When you and your illusion are within 5 feet of a creature that can see the illusion, you have advantage on attack. So if you get advantage for flanking effectively.
Or kind of like Wolfpack Tactics, you just have to be next to him.
Yeah. And as a bonus action, you can move it. Wait, that's really cool.
You can move the illusion up to 30 feet. You to an unoccupied space, you can see that is within 120 feet of yourself. And you can then teleport, swapping places with the illusion. So sometimes this is me, and sometimes this is me.
You can literally just pop back and forth. That is so cool.
If you want to.
Didn't they? Wait a second.
How cool is that?
Was this an older version of Cleric?
This was in the player's handbook, but I don't think it worked like this.
This is sick.
Yeah, because if you look at the design notes, it says no longer requires concentration, and it requires a bonus action instead of an action. And in
Was
addition,
this-
you could teleport when you first use it.
This was literally in the 2014 Player's Handbook?
Yes, sir.
No shit. Did I just not know this existed?
Yeah, because it's been there since 2014.
Oh, it's just a lot worse than it is
Correct.
in this one. Okay.
No, this got some serious changes. That's why I got excited. I was like, oh, hold on. You should see this, Lee.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So it just got a lot better. Shit,
Yes.
man. I want to play a cleric. That's sick.
Trickery domain.
That is so sick.
Heck yeah. And then
Holy
improved duplicity,
cow.
you can move it up to 60 feet rather than 30 feet. And the distract feature.
That's
applies to
just fun.
allies as well.
That
Yeah,
just
there's-
sounds fun. That sounds like so much legitimate fun. Oh
yes,
my
the shenanigans that you could that shall ensue. Uh-huh.
god. Oh my god.
Yep.
And you can move to the illusion 30 feet to an unoccupied space. You can see that is within 120 feet of yourself. And you can teleport. Oh my god, you can do that as one bonus action.
You could do so many cool things with that. Like, let's say, like, I mean, this could be like your unseen servant, get to the other side, flop, and trade spaces.
This is like a better Echo Knight, right? Like,
I mean, kind of, yeah. It's like familiar too, because you can cast spells through it.
yeah. That's really cool. I'm gonna write a note about this. I need to write this up in my sticky notes. Don't look at my notes. Those are my video ideas. Don't exactly. Dorek Ulas is like, I want to be a cleric ASAP, man.
Heck yeah, heck yeah.
Trickery domain cleric is bananas. Banas, not banas, bananas.
BANANAS.
That's so good, man. Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing I've read in this that I got really excited about. Like,
That's a pretty exciting change.
Yeah. all right, let's go. War domain. Guidance.
War God's
strike.
Blessing changed to Shield of Faith. Instead of the Guided Strike. It got rolled. Guided Strike and War God's Blessing got combined, and then
Okay,
it just gave
so
you
it's-
Shield of Faith on that. So
Okay, that makes sense. Divine Strike's been replaced by Blessed Strikes. Okay. And Avatar Battle now provides resistance to all damage and not just non-magic versions. Oh, that's nice. A nice little boof.
yep.
All right, Druid.
As I say, here we go. This is our baby.
Alrighty. Crack my neck. Get ready for this and see what we got.
You crack me up.
You're a piece of shit. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the design changes first. Channel Nature has been cut in favor of restoring Wild Shape at 2nd level. Good. Druidic now also makes you always have Speak with Animals prepared. I like that.
That just should be a thing.
It should be a thing. Primal Order is a new 1st level feature which lets you improve your armor and weapon proficiency or your spell casting. We'll take
Kind
a
of
look
like how
at that in a
clerics have
second.
Holy Order.
Okay.
Similar in that way. It's not heavy armor, but it's beefy.
Wild Shape, return to 2nd level. The feature has returned to using beast stat blocks and it has a new rule for how to interact with those stat blocks. We're winners!
I'm so thankful they overturned that nonsense. That abomination.
Yeah, right. We were really nice in our video about it.
Should we give a high five? High five? Hold on.
Hold on. Hold.
I'm trying.
Bap! Boop, bap! Oh god, I lost control. Okay, cool. In addition, using Wild Shape is now a bonus action for all druids, and swim speeds are available from the beginning. Okay, swim speeds is nice. I like
I'm
that.
fine with all
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
I'm also fine with bonus action for Wild Shape. Honestly, I felt like Wild Shaping as an action was more of a hindrance than anything.
Yeah.
Nice ad, beautiful. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Me too.
Spellcasting.
I do think that we may have to. I just feel like the way this is all heading, I do think we just have to accept a different kind of moon druid. But I think it's on the altar of the greater good. I think it's okay.
Okay, well, hopefully other
see.
druids were lifted up rather than pushing the moon druid down
Yeah.
to the garbage level that the others were.
I think that's how it went, but we'll see.
Spellcasting has one noteworthy change spell preparation is no longer tied to the level of your spell slots.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, so that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Wild Resurgence has moved from 15th level to 5th level and has been redesigned. So, okay, that means nothing to me yet. The new feature answers the desire to have more flexibility between Wild Shape and... Okay, that piques my interest with what they wrote there. Elemental Fury is now a 7th level feature, allowing the druid to increase the effectiveness of their cantrips and their attacks with weapons Wild Shape. Cool. That's they kind of just kept the elemental primal strikes
you were asking
before.
for the buff, man.
Yeah, right?
You were asking for it. Here it is.
Yeah, this is great, right? it's well, let's get to it first. Let's read it.
I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, you're getting ahead of yourself. Calm yourself.
I should quit while I'm ahead.
You should yes. My head's gone. All right.
Now I'm only ahead.
I'm only ahead. Oh no! I'll just put on the color key again, so you're literally just ahead.
You can see through me.
Yes, exactly. You're not getting away with anything. I can see through all your shit. Commune with Nature is now a 9th level feature. What was it before?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. It's such a minimal thing. Improved Elemental Fury is now 15th, improving whatever option the druid chose, and Archdruid includes the ability to turn unexpended uses of Wild Shape into spell slots. It also returned to 20th level, replacing epic boons because no one liked epic boons.
Pretty much.
Okay. Doesn't mean much. No one ever gets to level 20, if we're being honest. Let's see. Hi, streamer. Hi, Kato. How are you today or tonight?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, new Unearthed Arcana, new playtest material for D&D dropped, so I'm going over it now with my good friend Jake from State Farm.
That's me.
That is you.
I'm not wearing khakis. I'm wearing PJ pants, and they're maroon.
Great. Yay. What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
She sounds hideous.
PJ pants. Oh
anyways.
god. All right, let's okay, wait. Let's go down. Ability score minimum. Okay, armor training, blah blah blah, spell slots, blah, nothing. Druidic, we know. Primal Order. You have dedicated yourself to one of the following sacred roles of your choice: a magician or a warden. You know one extra cantrip from the primal spell list. In addition, your mystical connection to nature gives you a bonus to your intelligence checks. The bonus equals your wisdom modifier.
So you can add your wisdom, whatever your nature bonus is, you also add wisdom to that.
So you just for never gonna fail a nature check, really.
Unless you're Fern Calloway.
Yeah. Well, that's like a negative, right? Like she's got negative.
Yeah, I don't even think she trained in nature.
Yeah.
I think she's just like, why is it negative? I'm a druid.
What is it exactly?
Like, that's a good question. One you should have asked yourself when you made the character.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Another issue with the Mercer effect, am I right? Freaking D&D internet. D&D community is so fucking toxic. It's disgusting.
It has its moments.
Warden. Trained for battle. You gain martial weapon proficiency and medium armor training. I hope there's changes to this because that's cool. But I mean, if you're in a wild shape, it won't matter, right?
Yeah, well, I don't think the wild shape is necessarily going to be a combat thing for every kind of druid.
Okay, well, let's get to it then. This is cool.
Yeah,
I like this.
Yeah, because that's going to have a nice AC bonus, because a lot of times I feel like you feel like you want to take the dexterity, but you also want to put the constitution for your saves and all those kinds of things, so that helps a lot. But martial weapons?
Well, here's my question.
Pull out your polearm master.
Oh my god, no, please, no.
Polearm master, sentinel druid.
No!
You can't come at me.
No.
Now I will blast you with call lightning.
Oh my god, you just use Spirit Guardians Entangle. You're not going anywhere.
I win.
Oh man, that's miserable. Now, did they get rid of the ridiculous rule of only wearing leather and not metal?
I don't know if it says that. I think maybe they did.
I mean, I'm assuming so, because you can get a martial weapon, right? They must have.
Iron bark, like from Dragon Age.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I love Dragon Age, by the way.
All right, let's go.
Those things are cool. Your wild companion, so you can either wild shape or get a little
I like that.
Familiar,
I like that a lot.
know. I think that's cool because I think that fantasy is a very strong one, and a lot of
people love that. Yeah. And you get both a wild companion and a wild shape.
Yeah, you just choose what you want to use it as.
Because this costs a... Wait, when you summon a nature spirit that assumes an animal form as a magic action, so it uses a wild shape charge.
Or a spell slot.
Or a spell slot. So you could do both.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to technically choose. You could do both. That's great.
Yeah. And then wild shape, they just ripped this off, man.
Well, hold on a second. I want to look at this find familiar spell. So it's just a find familiar. It can't attack in combat. It still can't do that. It's just a find familiar. Little buddy. You get a little buddy. Yeah, all right. Wild shape. Bonus action. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see what we ripped off. You stay in... Okay. Stay in that form for a number of hours equal to half your druid level or until you use wild shape again. Have the incapacity condition or die. You can also leave the form early as a bonus action. You start knowing 3 forms. For this feature, chosen from among beast stat blocks, you have a maximum challenge rating of 1/4 and those that lack a fly speed. Rather than choosing, you may start with the riding horse, spider, and wolf. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace one of those known forms with an eligible form. Okay. That sounds reasonable.
So they didn't do like the specialty things that we were talking about in our collaboration with having some special forms tied to your circle, which I still think would be freaking awesome.
That's so much work for them, though. I don't really blame them because that would be kind of a lot of work.
I don't know. How hard would it be to just give each subclass like 3
unique things? Listen, all right. Incredibly hard. Incredibly hard.
Call it out.
Listen, all right.
Lazy design.
Honestly, what would it take? It would take 3 words. Known forms. This. Known forms. This. Yeah, not hard. I guess balancing it would be a nightmare, right?
Just follow the same CR restrictions. You're fine.
Whatever.
But I think they're just going back to its roots, where really it's not a big combat thing.
Yeah.
At least for most druids. But the known forms does make it a little easier to digest, which I think was a big goal for them.
Because it gives it suggestions based upon... You can just use these 3 rather than making your own custom garbage that's going to give you a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I do think I would like to eventually have more than 5, or does it actually mention if you can swap them out?
You can swap them out after you finish a long rest.
Oh, you can?
So
okay.
Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace one of your known forms. So you're like, you know what, I'm going to be on a boat. I probably want a flying form and a couple of water forms. Probably not a wolf, right? Like, so that's probably...
Paddle. I'll get you.
I'll
get you cracking. I'll get you cracking. Cracking me up, sir.
And that's it for Jake from State Farm, everybody.
Set myself up. I'm going to give myself a high five.
It's that you gotta. My producer's telling me Jake is. I'm having interference. He's vanishing from my. Oh no, he's gone. No. Oh no, he's actually gone. Why did he go away? No, there he is. Okay.
Summon content again. You know how to do this.
Oh god, that was so good. So good. All right. Rules while transformed. While in a form, you retain your person. Okay. Same stuff. Game statistics replaced with the beast, but you retain... okay. You retain your hit points, hit dice, intelligence, and mental stats. So the health thing they really did not like.
They felt like it was just way too powerful, and as much as I feel like there should be something there, I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I just think if you're gonna... If this is going to be a combat feature... It needs some more incentive.
Well,
but
you and me have talked about this a lot. Druid wild shape for anything other than the Moon Druid it's not a wild,
utility.
it's not a combat feature,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's just not.
It's scouting, it's utility.
Yeah.
It's,
So
whatever,
that makes
creative.
sense.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to the Moon Druid, but I don't want to rush through all of this.
You could be the beefiest mouse ever.
Yeah.
Level 10. You turn into a mouse and go scouting this thing. It's like, we keep hitting this mouse and it's still alive.
You know what? That's a good point.
Still alive.
That is a good
Something's
point.
weird about this mouse.
There's nothing preventing me stepping on that mouse and then being like, why is that mouse not dead?
It's actually a buff if you think about it. 'Cause
It kind
would
of
cause
is.
it to be like, oh my god, what foul magic is this?
It must have been the wind. Skyrim guard the thing. Like,
What was that noise? Whose footprints are these?
who's there? Exactly. No spell casting, but transforming doesn't break concentration. That's nice.
That's the same as
Yeah.
the original, yeah. Objects, that's,
Limited by your form makes sense. Okay, subclass and features. Ability score, blah. Wild Resurgence. If you have no uses of wild shape left, you give yourself one by expending a spell slot. Okay? In addition, you can
I like
expend
that.
one wild shape and give yourself a first level spell slot. Yeah, it's just nice quality of life.
little,
Crossover.
resource management. Elemental Fury.
The might of the elements flows through you. You can add your wisdom modifier to the damage you deal with any primal strike, with any primal cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice. That's really nice. That's effectively like Agonizing Blast, Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. It is good. I mean, it's not going to apply to multiple attacks like Eldritch Blast would, but it's still a good thing to have.
Yeah. Primal Strike. Once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with an attack roll, using a weapon or a beast form's attack in the wild shape, you can cause the target to take an extra D8 damage.
That's
That's good. It's effectively what they
that's like
had
how-
in the original, in the last playtest, right?
Well, it's kind of just like how clerics get that and paladins get that.
Yeah, I'm a little torn on it. I like it. It's nice. I'm torn on it because of this, right? This wisdom damage, or this damage, is limited to the cantrips, which druid cantrips, I don't think they have very good damage in cantrips. They have like Thorn Whip, right?
The
And
one I was thinking about, maybe Primal Savagery.
yeah, you know what? Yeah, Primal Savagery, Create Bonfire. But like you mentioned, that's like not as good as the other, like Eldritch Blast. But Primal Strike, we just went over how Wild Shape isn't combat. And
No, but I'm getting my Polearm Master Druid with
Yep.
this bad boy.
and if
now.
I'm on a druid, I'm probably not going to hit with a weapon 9 times out of 10, right?
Most likely, no, you're not good.
Yeah. So this is nice. I like it. I mean, I feel like it feels a little bad.
This
But-
pairs well though if you are going to be in a combat wild shape, or like
Yeah.
you're a mouse that bites and be like, "How come I just got zapped with lightning damage?
Why is
from
my
this
shoe on
mouse?
fire?
Why is this mouse not dead and shooting lightning bolts out of its arse?"
That's a good point. Squeak, squeak, motherfucker.
Like Bilbo, like
Yeah, the Bilbo Baggins. Give it to me. Oh my god. Yeah, that's Jesus. Yeah, you're right. I guess it's just another type of playstyle I'm not familiar. I'm not very used to. Commune with nature. You're an expression of nature itself and can commune with the natural world around you. You always have commune with nature. Wow. That's nice.
So OP.
Yeah. Isn't that the one where you know certain things in the area, like within a couple mile radius or something like that? Isn't that commune with nature?
I will look it up. Commune with
I have the
nature.
power of Google. Yeah, you learn
Well,
3
I have
things
D&D
about the
Beyond,
area
and it's
around
slower.
you. Yeah, this is
Isn't that
what
funny?
it is.
Google finds it faster than
D&D Beyond
Beyond's own
does.
search does.
Yeah, it's whatever. We're not talking about it. Nope.
It's just funny. That's all.
Yep.
Stay in the moment with complete
Oh, there's the
control
ad.
of
Stay in the
assets.
moment. I'm gonna mute you now. Improved Elemental Fury. Okay. When you cast a primal cantrip with a range of 10 feet or greater, the spell's range becomes 300 feet. Whew! Whew! That is a long thorn whip.
Get over here. Still only
Holy
pulls you 10 feet, I
Yeah,
think. But
exactly. Get over here.
where did this
10
come
feet
from? I don't
closer.
even know.
Why am I getting a thorn whip sniped from miles away? Oh, and the extra damage from a primal strike increases to 2d8. Yay, okay.
I'm
That's
just going to
pretty
say
funny.
this, though. If you think about the damage output, though, obviously it's not like Paladin Smiting or something like that. But like fighters at level 15, a fighter would have 3 attacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're using a longsword, I realize you're probably using something more fun, but that's potentially 3d8
Yep.
damage. So
Mhm.
here, kind of the same thing. It's in one shot.
Yeah.
Poor fighters, man.
Oh, why? I don't want to talk about the fighters. Okay.
The fighter isn't in this playtest. I'm just saying.
Man.
We'll probably show them a little love when we talk about rogues.
Eventually, yeah. All right, well, let's go. Archdruid, we know that. Evergreen Wild Shape, Natural Magician. You have no use of Wild Shape, you gain 1. That's been there. You can convert uses of Wild Shape into a spell slot, no action required. Choose a number of your unexpended uses of Wild Shape and convert them into a single spell slot, with each use contributing 2 spell levels. You must then finish a long rest before you can do so again. Okay, so you just more swapping. In longevity, the problem magic that would cause you to age more slowly for every 10 years. So it's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Circle of the Land. Let's get into the subclasses, baby.
You're gonna like how circle spells work.
All right, circle spells. Now let you
Works.
pick different land type each. Boom. That's really nice.
You pick which one you want. You attune to which land you want to attune to after every long rest.
That's fantastic. Because Circle of the Land was like its own mini subclass, right? Like, it had Circle of the Land subclass, and then you had Circle of the Arctic subclass, right?
Yeah.
Subclass. I like that
This is
actually
simpler.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's less
Land-
restrictive, right? Less focusing in a box.
It just makes sense, I think, if you're a druid who you're supposed to be able to attune to nature and you're just in tune with things. Like, if I'm in the Arctic, I think I should be special there, even if I'm in the desert too. Like, I understand how nature works.
It's what
whatever
druids are
form
good
it
at,
takes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, yeah, I'm a tundra druid.
I hate the.
I don't
hate
know
the
anything
sand.
about trees. Nope.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Land's Aid is now a 3rd level feature, which lets the druid expend uses of Wild Shape to heal and harm an area.
Yep.
Okay. Natural Recovery is now 6th level, replacing Land Stride and enhances circle spells. Nature Ward has been redesigned to be more useful and interact with circle spells, and Nature Sanctuary has been redesigned to give the druid another way to use Wild Shape and to provide protection to druid allies. All right. But they had to restrict the spells you got, right? Because of how they changed this?
What do you? What do
Oh,
you
maybe
mean?
they didn't. Because every, like, sub-circle class got, like, access to a bunch of spells.
Well, yeah. So if whatever you attune to, you have access to those circle spells for that day.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to look at this real quick because I want to see
What's the Google machine say?
Circle of the Land. Yeah, because there's Arctic, Coast, Desert, Forest, Grass, Mountain, Swamp, Underdark. There's currently only 4, which is honestly... Okay, that makes more sense.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, the reason I brought it up is because there's 6 each with their own unique spells table that all have 2 per level, right? So you have 8 access to 16 spells effectively per land. So if you had access to 16 times 6 spells that you could change on a long rest, that'd be kind of bananas. And there's right.
That you just get for free. You mean like?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. The irony is like so. If we're just looking at the UA, like polar land, right? You get all this like ice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably taking that when you're in a desert though, because of ice things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's kind of there's a little bit of an irony, I think, to that.
You're not wrong, actually. Yeah, because you're looking at these other ones like I wouldn't exactly want Firebolt or Fireball in a desert, right? That's not going to help me much.
Oh, you want Ray of Frost?
Exactly. Cone of Cold. Let's go. Any day of the week.
Yep.
I do like how all of these have decent differences in spell options, right? Like Burning Hands, Fireball, Blight, a Wall of Stone is very different than Tree Stride, Freedom of Movement, Misty Step, and Sleep.
Yeah.
Or even Web, Polymorph, and Stinking Cloud. Right? I like.
I had beans before. I didn't bean. My bad. I think I'm in trouble. I think I'm in trouble, stream.
I don't have it. Never
Chat.
mind. I don't
Help
have
me.
it. You're lucky.
Help me.
I'm looking for my. Yeah, it's not here. Where is it? I normally have a Nerf gun. No, here it is. Here it is.
No.
It's green. You can't see it. But I got a Nerf gun.
That means it's not real.
Oh no, my imaginary gun. Oh man, but that means I get to imagine the bullets.
No.
Oh no, my one weakness. Bullets.
Imaginary bullets.
Alright, Land's Aid.
This
You
is
can
nice.
channel the power of the land itself to bolster friends and harm foes. As a magic action, you can expend a use of Wild Shape and choose a point within 60 feet of yourself. Vitality-giving flowers and life-draining thorns appear for a moment in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point. Each creature in that area must make a con save, taking 2d6 necrotic damage or half as much.
In addition, one creature of your choice in that area regains 2d6.
That's just Wither and Bloom.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love Wither and Bloom. It's one of my favorite spells, honestly.
It is. It was the MVP of the Odahan fight.
Yeah, I love that spell, dude. When they came out with that spell, I freaking when I read that, because that came out in, when did that come out? That came out recently. Was that
Tasha's?
It wasn't Fizbin's. It must have been Tasha's, right? Well, I say recently, but you know, let's see.
Come on, D&D Beyond.
Wither and Blom? No, Wither and Bloom. Strixhaven.
Yep.
That was it. It came out in Strixhaven. Yeah, when that came out, I was like, this is what D&D needs. Spells,
invoke both death and life.
yeah, isn't that cool? You need spells that do like multiple things that aren't just like roll dice or you can't move. Haha, sucks to suck. It's better than Wither and Bloom because it doesn't need hit dice. That is true, Clara. I did not notice that. You are 100% correct. That is a better Wither and Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's actually really good. And that's a lot of damage for 3rd level. AoE 2d6?
It's kind of like Shatter, I think is 2d8. If I'm
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, it is Shatter, yeah.
Right?
And it heals.
But it gets a heal, yeah.
That's really good.
And it's not loud.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that stealth mission? Yeah, it's not a stealth mission
Sorry, I'm
anymore.
gonna have to pull this one out, guys. I didn't prepare anything other than Shatter.
Stealth go boom?
Fireball didn't ask to be quiet. All right, Natural Recovery. This is just regaining spell slots or something, right? Without expending a spell slot.
You cast one of the circle spells, and when you finish a short rest. That's one thing I've seen some very consistent patterns, which I appreciate. They're giving certain, or just some guidelines for like, yeah, you didn't take a long rest, but you do get a little bit on a short rest, which, I mean, people complain about short rests. 4E,
Yeah.
the short rest was 5 minutes, and I think a lot of issues with classes like the Warlock wouldn't be an issue if that was the case.
Yeah, I think short rest is one of those things that I've tried to implement more, but I just struggle with because it's so awkward.
The hour is so weird.
Yeah, it's just awkward, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah, I get it. It makes sense. Nature's Ward. Your bond with the land protects you. You are immune to poison condition, and you have resistance to the damage type associated with your current land choice. Okay,
That's nice.
you get damage resistance. That's nice. So this is where you might want to be arid in the desert.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, you know, you give and take, right? Like, Makes sense.
Yep.
Nature's Sanctuary. As a managed action, you can expend your wild shape to cause spectral trees and vines to appear in a 15-foot cube around on the ground within 120 feet of yourself. They last a minute or until incapacitated, and they provide half cover while in that area. And your allies gain the current damage resistance of your... That's so good! That is so cool!
Sure is.
That is awesome! I love that! That's
I
like...
will protect you from the elements, my friends.
Literally! You're literally... I don't know, that's super... That's like a better fog cloud that only affects... makes enemies have trouble, right? Like...
Yeah.
That's so good. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so simple. It's so small and simple, but it's so cool. Oh.
It's funny. That's what my wife says. I mean, never mind.
Oh no.
But
Where's the Discord sound effects? Those are a thing, right? Where is it? I don't think we can do it in a call, can we? Can we?
Hold on.
There it is.
There it is.
The claps. Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, Circle of the Moon. Here we go. This is what I
There it
want to
is.
see. This is what I want to see.
This is different. It's different.
Don't temper my expectations. Let me read it.
Okay, yes, sir.
That's right. Shut up. As it's returned to 2014, the feature is improved at 6th level, now called Improved Circle Forms. Okay? Well, Combat Wild Shape lets you use either your AC or your Beast Form AC, whichever is higher.
Now the medium armor matters.
Now it does. The feature also ensures you have Moonbeam prepared, and you can cast that while in Wild Shape, as
That's
a
nice.
previous playtest. The feature also lets you cast Abjuration spells. Oh, most healing spells now belong to the Abjuration School. But again, you have the action. Okay, whatever. Moonlight Step. This is a 10th level feature which allows the druid to teleport. That's cool. I like that. That sounds really cool.
I didn't say it was bad. I said it was different.
Yeah. Luniform is now a 14th level feature which enhances other features of the subclass. Okay.
So circle forms. This is still your bread and butter.
The maximum CR for Wild Shape is 1. So they kept the CR upped. Right? You can transform into more dangerous animals. Yeah, so it looks like they just kept that, which is nice. I do like that. Actually, before I go deeper into this, when I read this Combat Wild Shape and the AC thing, I assumed they were going to keep the CR the same for the creatures. The fact that they kept the CR increased is good. I like that.
Moon Druid still gets to be combat and do a lot of really good combat things in their Wild Shape.
When you assume Wild Shape, compare your Beast AC to your AC, and whichever is higher. That's great. That's fantastic, right? Now that you bring that up, that is huge because a bear doesn't have good AC.
That's exactly the
Right?
example I was thinking of.
Yeah, a bear is what, 12 AC? Something like
Do you want
that?
more hit points, or do you want to be a wolf?
Exactly.
It's like it's the thinking.
Yeah, but that's really good. I love that. That is unique, and that kind of makes up for the hit point differential here, in my opinion. But I see temporary hit points, so hold on a second.
Yeah.
When you assume a Wild Shape, you gain a number of temp hit points equal to the form's hit points, or 3 times your Druid level, whichever is lower. Okay, so it's going to be 3 times your Druid level 9 times out of 10.
Whichever is lower. Yeah, probably.
So, if you're level 3, you're going to get 9 temporary hit points. For example, if you turn into a wolf as a
It depends on the form.
you wouldn't turn into a wolf with 11 HP because that's the quarter CR version of the wolf. Come on,
Right.
Wizards,
Dire.
give us a better example. What the hell?
Dire wolf.
Anyways, little complaints. But yeah, you gain 11 temporary hit points since 3 times your Druid level is higher than the wolf's hit points. Makes sense. Abjuration spells, except for any spell that has a material component, which I think... Did we look over the list last time we talked about this? And it was very small still?
I don't remember.
Because if it's no
exactly.
material components, that's even more restrictive than just abjuration spells.
But it's with a cost specified or that consumes it. So
That has a material component with a cost spell. Okay, so yeah.
So if it says a sprig of mistletoe, but
Yeah,
it
that
doesn't
doesn't
consume
count.
it, then it doesn't matter.
And then Moonbeam, you have it prepared. Now, my
No, this is pretty good.
question is, I don't remember. Is Moonbeam an action?
Yes, but I think you can move it as a bonus if I remember.
No, it's an
correctly.
action. I remember.
move it?
I remember. Yeah, on each of your turns after the spell, it's an action to move the beam, which is why I hate this. You know, Moonbeam is one of the spells that you would think is like a bonus action spell, but it's the full action to do everything about it, which I think makes it so much less useful.
I'm okay with the initial casting being an action, but I think moving it should be the bonus.
Yeah, but if that stays the same, as far as I'm concerned, this is dead in the water, dead weight to me. If it's a full action to move still, it's because what's the point of being in wild shape? You're gonna run up, cast Moonbeam, get hit a lot while you're holding concentration on Moonbeam, and then use your action to move it?
Well, unless you are a mouse on a stealth mission.
Orbital nuke!
Oh, well, I mean, that there's some pretty nasty stealth implications with that if you can stay hidden.
Mm-hmm. You're right,
But
actually.
Overall, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing I can
You're right. I agree with you.
think of it.
But you're also literally, we both also agree that having a very niche scenario that makes it cool does not make it viable.
Right.
Yeah.
I do think, though, that the druid is often called upon to scout, and they often use their wild shape to do so. So, perhaps it's not quite as niche. I would want to just see that. How often does it come into play? Like, that would be one of those things I would...
Well, if a druid's coming in to scout, why would they ever use Moonbeam?
Well, sometimes decisions need to be made on the scouting.
Right.
scouting thing. Like,
Unless
there's
everything
a group
went...
of 6 lycanthropes just sitting there.
Unless...
Ha-ha! I'm gonna get...
Oh, no.
It's like, ooh, a mouse. Lunch.
Let's step on it.
Keep chewing on it, and it's not dying.
Yeah, that's, you know what? You're right. The druid in my campaign makes executive decisions sometimes, a lot of times. Executive decisions are made. They're there. Yep, that no one talks about them, but they're there. Improve circle forms. Yep. Moonlight step. You magically transport yourself, reappearing amid a burst of moonlight. As a bonus action, you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see, and you have advantage on the next attack roll you make before the end of this turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
I love teleporting. This is just free uses of Misty Step.
Yep.
It says magically transport yourself, so I wonder if it would call it a magic action. Probably not. It's just teleporting. But if you could do this in your wild shape too, that's really cool.
I mean, that's what it looks like to me. You can, right?
Why not,
like,
right?
yeah.
Why not?
This is, I love, I like, me and you both love teleportation spells, right? Like, I think Misty Step is one of my favorite. It really does. Like,
movement. We did a whole video on J&J Tabletop just dedicated to movement.
Really? Yeah.
Like, we have a whole action economy series, and the whole movement thing, we're just like, well, punks and rogues, just
Yep.
Sometimes your best ability is your availability.
Yep.
The fighter can't get there, the paladin can't get there, but the monk can, so the monk can do something. Like,
yeah.
How many times is that a thing? It's a thing.
But yeah, you are right. This is effectively just a Misty Step, which is really cool.
Yeah. With a little light instead of smoke.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Or... yeah, exactly.
Ooh, there's that stinking cloud again.
Fuck me.
Lunar.
Hold on 1 second. I was gonna...
If not, tell Alyssa to get her food. Level 14 feature you're gonna likely.
This is probably a good point for a quick break if you got a minute. I'm gonna go
Sure.
hit the bathroom, and
it's important.
It is a thing. Anyways, we'll be right back.
Sounds good. Yeah, but I asked a question. Am I muted to the stream or no? I typed it out though. Just making sure. Okay. Well, still, I think it's that. Yeah, that's all. I am.
Boom, and we're back, but he's
Hey.
not back. There he is now. He's back. Oh my
So
god.
that's what banishment feels like.
Oh, n- Are you a dad?
No, but I should be.
Jesus Christ. God, God damn it.
I always wish I was, actually.
Yeah,
Didn't work out for us. Maybe someday we'll adopt.
maybe.
We'll see how
That
that
the
goes.
kid's gonna love and hate you. I'll tell you what.
That's what being a dad's all about.
Really? Oh man.
Lunar form!
Yeah,
Lee!
lunar forms. Anyways, let's get back to the
Lee,
video.
you're gonna like it!
All right, lunar for. Wait a second. When you moonbeam is active, you can move it 60 feet at the start of each of your. Ah! They fixed it. Nice. Okay.
Circle of the moonbeam, baby!
That's great. Shared moonlight. Whenever you use moonlight step, you can also teleport one willing creature. That creature must be within 10 feet of you and teleport to an. That's literally a Babby dimension door. That is so cool. I love that.
A cute little babby.
Yeah. This is so... You know what? Fucking tactical nuke rogue bear teleport. Let's go. Sneak attack. Boom. Like bear on top and then right in the neck. Automatic sneak attack because there's an enemy around him. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
The druid and the rogue are best friends now. They always hated each other in the past, but now they're the best friends. Best of friends.
That's it.
Yeah. I
That's
love
it.
that. That's so good. I don't know. I had an early combo, not an early, probably like a middle of my YouTube thing. When I was starting to transition into the better produced videos, right? When I was learning how to do all that video editing,
That's a thing.
I had. Oh my god, yeah. If you watch my early videos, they were garbage tier. But I had a combo video that was I called the Bestial Bomb, and it was all about teleporting a druid really high up on top of some poor sap.
Like I could take the falling damage, man.
That's what it
fine.
was. That's pretty much what it was. Oh my god!
Hit me.
Now I need
Hit me.
to find the video. Hold on a second. Now I have to find it because it's really bothering me that I don't remember it. Oh my god! I don't even remember the combo.
I'm just happy that I feel like even though they took away the hit points, Circle of the Moon still gives that. They still are honoring its place in using Wild Shape more in combat.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I think that's something that they really failed on in the last playtest that they did.
Yep.
And I think that's honestly the most important freaking thing.
I agree.
Comb? Come on, where the flip is it?
Combo.
Well, the problem is
like
combo
pizza
and
pizza combos?
combination are different, right?
comb.
Here it is, Bestial Bomb. It's on. There's middle
Combs.
tier video or my middle
Different
produced
combs.
video. Let's go. Zoom. Bestial Bomb. What is it? It combines. Oh, YouTube, don't do me like this. Load.
That's dirty.
No, okay. It was just Wild Shape or Polymorph and Misty Step. That's all it was. Never mind. I thought it was more fun than that.
Well,
Damn.
It's more fun if you use Dimension Door.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go. Circle of the Sea.
Circle the Sea. Nothing's.
All right, what are you? You're chuckling. That's got to mean a good thing, huh?
You tell me.
Is this like the way of the open sea paladin or whatever?
No, this is good.
Okay, your connection to the circle ensures you always have certain spells. Fog cloud. That's a lot of spells, first of all. That is a huge amount of spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells at level 3 for free. That's actually a lot.
Well, you got Ray of Frost in there.
Gust of Wind.
That's a lot.
That's 5 spells at level 3 that
Oh,
you get for free.
Yes.
Or
Because
prepared
they're
for
kind of
free.
they're combining first level spells and second level spells in here.
But
right?
still, 5 spells without, like... Let's be honest. Thunder Wave is one a lot of people are going to pick up. And Gust of Wind is one of those really popular ones. And then you got Lightning Bolt, which is, let's be honest, that's a go-to, right? Like, Ice
yes.
Storm's kind of garbage in my opinion, I think. But Conjure Elemental, Hold Monster are like S-tier spells, right?
Mhm.
Anyways, all right, Wrath of the Sea.
Yeah. This one is.
As I can't read your reaction if you're laughing at it or if you're like, this is so good or terrible.
That makes it even better.
As a bonus action, you can expend a use of your wild shape to manifest an aura that takes the form of an ocean spray that surrounds you. The aura lasts for 10 minutes if it ends early, if you dismiss it, or you're incapacitated, or manifest the aura
So
again.
you drink some ocean spray.
At the end of each of your turns, you can choose a creature within 10 feet of yourself, and the target must succeed a con save against your spell save DC, or take thunder damage. And if the creature is large or smaller, be pushed 15 feet away from you. To determine this damage, roll a d6 equal a number of d6s. What?
Uh-huh.
What?
Uh-huh. No action required, Lee, at the end of each of your turns. You can choose another creature. No action. You just do the thing.
Wait a second. Okay.
You just do the thing.
I wasn't done with the number of d6s equal to your wisdom modifier, okay?
Yeah, so if you happen to roll really well, if you're doing that and you... Uh-huh.
If you are a third level druid, let's be honest, you have at least a 16 in your wisdom. You know, if you're doing anything right. That's
Conservative estimate.
3d6.
Every turn for free, no action required.
That's level 3.
Why is that? Is that strong?
Holy shit.
Is that good? I don't know. How to D&D?
That's crazy.
That's definitely gonna change.
That's getting that. How did that get past any? That's gotta be a typo, right?
Nah, it's just this is UA. That's what it is.
To determine this damage, roll a number of d6s equal to your wisdom mod. If it was just your damage is equal to your wisdom modifier, that's one thing.
Especially since it doesn't take an action. It doesn't take a bonus action or a reaction.
This is
at
just
the end of your
flat out
turn,
better.
Do a thing.
This is better than any Storm Herald Barbarian build ever, right? This is just 20 times better, right?
Just all up in Barbarian's business right
Holy
now.
shit.
And by the way, you could push them up to
15
feet away.
That's huge.
This is where you get your Polearm Master,
Where
push
is
him
this?
away and be like, come back at me.
That's crazy. I can
Polearm
see.
Master
I
Druid
see.
build.
I
Polearm Master Sentinel Druid build.
I see.
Yeah!
I see what you were saying with this now. Holy
Way too
snot, dude. That is too broken.
Josh, you're handsome.
What?
Josh just.
Oh, both of
showed
these
up
men
like this.
are so handsome. I know, right? Just hold on a second. Let me just fix this.
Did someone say Polearm Master?
There we go. So much better.
You're no good and
There
dirty.
we go.
Son of a-
So much better.
Josh, the Druid has, you know how like they give the cleric the holy order where you could be like a warrior cleric and you get stuff. The Druid has something where they can get martial weapons. And so I've been joking this whole time, and I actually don't know if it's that much of a joke looking at some of these features.
Yeah.
But a Polearm Master Druid
Yep.
would be freaking awesome, nasty with this thing.
An average of 10.5 damage for free is just banana. I love the fact that he said just bananas. I feel like he's been around, or they've been around in my channel for so damn long, and they're
Mark
saying
knows.
bananas. This is bananas.
It's an accurate descriptor.
Oh, I love it. 20 wisdom is 17.5 damage on average. That's crazy.
For free, no action required. It just happens. Well, I mean, there's a saving
Someone
throw.
was drinking, right? Someone was drinking when they were doing this.
Pretty
God
much.
dang, dude. Whew. Stormborn, that's literally another subclass. Isn't it?
It's Daenerys.
Okay, Aquatic Affinity, you have water breathing spell prepared. Man, everything is just going to feel so like much of a letdown after that fucking behemoth, right?
It is.
You gain a swim speed equal to your speed. Okay. Wow, you have wild shape anyways, doesn't mean anything. I guess the form gains a swim speed even if it's not a swimmer. That's cool. I guess you could be a swimming bear that moves the same speed as if you were on land. That is kind of cool, actually. That's really cool.
What is it? Or the mouse thing again. Here we go.
Stop.
What is it with this freakish mouse?
You can't get
Why?
away. It's chasing you all past
Why does
the-
it have 100 hit points?
Why is it
And
swimming?
now it swims!
Why is it swimming faster than a boat? And why is it shocking me?
Why isn't it drowning?
Oh my god. Stormborn.
Mm-hmm.
2 more benefits. You gain a flight speed equal to your speed.
This is while you're
Wait.
doing your Wrath of the Sea
Wait.
form. When you drink your ocean spray,
In your Wrath of the Sea. Wait, where's the Wrath of the Sea? So that's your bonus action wild shape.
Yeah.
You gain a fly speed
yeah.
equal
so
to. So it doesn't have to be. It can be a flying bear or a flying mouse.
Well, actually, the Wrath of the Sea actually isn't a wild shape feature.
Oh, okay. So it's
You
just like
use a wild
you're
shape
you're
to-
in your ocean spray cranberry
It's
form.
Yes, you're drinking ocean spray, and then you just start shoving people around for free and dealing lots of damage. to
Got it. Okay, makes
them.
sense.
Yeah.
Oh my
and you
god.
can fly too, and have resistance to cold, lightning, and thunder damage. Because I mean,
Makes
that's cool.
sense.
I'm fine with that.
Uh,
especially level 10, but
Okay, let's see. Your creature gains benefits of the aura and uses your spell save DC and wisdom. In addition, you can manifest the aura around both. Wait. You can manifest the aura around one willing creature. Okay, you can manifest it around both yourself and the creature if you expend 2 shade. Wait a second. Now, here's my question. This is fucking crazy. At the end of each of your turns. Now, here's the question.
Oh, no.
If I put my Storm Aura on myself and my good rogue friend, you know, and we're just bop, 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 at the end of my turn, that is two. That is my Wisdom modifier D6s times 2, right?
Yeah, for free.
At 14th level, math this out, okay? At 14th level, you are guaranteed 20 Wisdom. If you're not 20 Wisdom, you're either don't care about your stats or you're bad at the game.
Yep, we're good.
Right? So that is 5d6 times, so 10d6 for free at the end of your turn.
Mm-hmm.
That is what, 30 damage on average?
Sorry, just Josh made me laugh.
That's crazy.
Why is the description of Wrath of the Sea, water is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty?
Why do I feel dirty after you said that to me?
I could say moist if that makes you feel better.
That has no effect on me at all. It just...
Right.
God damn it.
But yeah, I think your numbers are at least close. If they're not right, I forget what you even said. 35 damage.
Yeah, he'd know better than I would. Or they'd know better than I would. I just my averaging math is always a high school level degree of understanding of averages. So
5d6, so the low end, yeah.
So 10d6.
So yeah, you just have to do it once. 35.
10d6.
Because you take the lowest result and the highest result, add them together, divide by 2.
Oh, that's how you do it. Oh.
And that doesn't account for the
well,
steepness of a
I appreciate the fact that Glaric has not posted on all of my videos my averaging math is terribly off. So I appreciate you so much for not doing that. Literally every one of
say this. It's around this. Like you
yeah.
just. Use exact language. You're good with math.
That's crazy. That is.
Wrath of the Sea is definitely getting nerfed.
That's getting nerfed. There's no way
There's
that's
no
not
way
getting
that
nerfed.
survives.
Yeah, there's no way.
No way.
If you get the chance to play it now. Because it's not lasting long. Guaranteed.
You want to trick your dungeon master? Here you go.
Exactly.
This is how you do it.
Do you want to win There's your title for the video right there. Do you want to win D&D? Here you go.
We figured it out. That's how you do it.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Alright, well, I like the druid. Honestly, I thought I was going to hate the druid. I thought when you were giving me the smirks and being like, it's different, you were tempering my expectations. But I do think that they made a lot of nice changes here.
I just didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah. And I do
I know that's your baby.
I do think that they brought other subclass. They brought the Circle of Land Druid up. Yeah. Right? They definitely did, I think.
Yeah.
Nature Sanctuary is so fucking cool, man.
Well, that's the thing. They wanted the land druid to be like the nature mage.
Yeah.
And the Circle of the Moon still, I mean, it's not as strong as the 2014 version, but frankly,
still
that
pretty
version is
strong.
overpowered.
Yeah.
But as long as the combat wild shape fantasy still is there, I think you're good. And
I love it. I think this is going to be a much more balanced.
Stuff.
Right? Yeah. It's just going to be much better.
Yeah, it's not just clearly better than everything.
And they didn't get rid of the HP entirely, right? Temporary hit points. Like if you're, level 3, you have 9 extra
boost.
temp hit points. It's like a boost, right? Yeah.
Yep.
But like if you get to like level 7 or 9, when you can get to like 3 CR creatures, that's what 27 temp hit points, which is nothing to freaking write home about, or nothing to
your
scuff
floor
at.
is always going to be.
It's always going up. Yeah. I love it. I think they did. I think they did the druid well with this one. I'm really happy with how they did that.
I agree.
All right,
Monk.
Speaking
of bananas.
Let's
talk about these monkeys.
Hey,
we're the monkeys. People say we're monkeys.
That is. You know what? I don't know why I didn't expect that. Oh my god. Hey, what's up, Dr. Sarte MD?
Yes!
The doctor's in. Thank you. I need some medication for this garbage tier jokes this kid's making.
Pretty good
Oh,
at
man.
that.
God dang. That's so funny.
Let's talk about the monk, because this is your other baby. This is your other baby.
So backstory. I don't know if I told you about this, but monk was my favorite class for a long. I told you that. And then I transitioned over to really loving the druid, and I like the whole. Now here's something that might get me in trouble, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I like the stereotype monk archetype, right? Like the whole like spiritual old man on a mountain kind of deal, blah 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 blah. Because like my suggestion, lobotomy. Jesus criminy, doctor, come on, there's got to be another option. This is a Twitch viewer in case you're looking. It's not on YouTube.
Oh, because I don't. Oh, you're live on Twitch as well.
I'm live on both. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I gotta get both of them going.
Yeah, sorry. But gee, there's gotta be another option, doctor. Please, just give me drugs like every other doctor in the world. Jesus.
Is it this crits or behold this?
I think Twitch is behold this crit.
Okay.
I can't change my name on Twitch because Twitch. Honestly, I should be just streaming on YouTube, but I kind of like the multi-stream aspect of it. It's fun. Anyways.
I didn't even know I was on Twitch at the same time.
Oh no,
Okay,
you're
good.
breaking your partner contract. What are you gonna do?
I just want to make sure I could talk to chat.
Yeah, I've been talking this whole time. I didn't even think to tell you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nice. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks for the warning, buddy. For 10K, I can give you. Oh my god, what kind of doctor are you? Yikes! Oh man.
Okay.
That's an interesting type of doctor we got. This is the witch doctor. This is a new class in 5.5e.
So talk to me about your monk fantasies.
Anyways, yeah. So I don't.
It's clean.
So
right?
yes, it's very clean. My growing up, I used to do martial arts, right? And I got my black belt when I was like 19 or 18 or 19, I think.
That's
so
awesome.
like I had like a lot of pull to the monk initially, and it was my favorite class for a long time because of that. And I really like the whole like ooh 2 1-finger push-up kind of deal kind of thing. But then the druid just got cool because I like being animals and stuff.
I was chit-chatting with Baron from Blue Dragon Guild a little bit today too, and he was like one of the things he was asking me. He's like, "What's your?" Did he just show up with something?
Yeah, someone just liked my comment on that video. So
that's great. But he was just like, because he was like, "What's your least favorite class?" And I was like, I do love them all. Like,
yeah.
But if I'm just talking about like, so I just talked about the mechanics and.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if I
they're
have
all cool in their own
yeah.
way. Like it's what am I in the mood for? I have favorites, but I don't really have anything that.
You know what? I do think my least favorite is actually the warlock.
Okay.
You know, and that was just off the cuff, not thinking about it too much.
It's your gut.
Yeah, it's my gut reaction to it. I think it's the warlock, but I don't think it's a bad class. I just think it's my least favorite to play. You know.
Sure. Nothing wrong with that.
Too many Eldritch Blasts, not enough other things. All right, let's see the monk.
Let's do it.
Martial arts, medicine aside, I'm working on making the mist scare. Oh, that's not a good sign. I'm pretty sure I read that book before or heard a story about that one time.
Oh my.
oh my.
Oh my.
Okay, so martial arts starts with a D6 rather than a D. That's pretty big. And the die only applies only to unarmed strikes, not weapons. Weapons are now enhanced by weapon mastery. To keep up with other classes, the monk's unarmed strike needed this damage boost, which goes up to a D12 rather than a D. Okay, so the base level is just a D6 rather than a D4, which is huge.
That's a big change.
Yeah.
And a very needed one.
Yeah.
And also look at the title of the points column. It's not key points.
Discipline points.
Yep.
I wonder why that is.
I think it's just a larger umbrella, because sometimes there is that more mystical version, and then there's also that just like I hone my body into just a martial weapon.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a look. Weapon Mastery is a new first level feature that gives you new ways to use weapons. Martial Discipline, formerly Key, gives you an improved version of Step of the Wind, which now lets you take both the Oh!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a fun...
As a DM, I hate that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome, though. I mean, the monk is supposed to do a lot of these cool things, especially if they're not going to have access to some of the big damaging things. And so...
Deflect Missiles has been redesigned, making it easier to use in more situations to deal more damage on average. I love Deflect Missiles. I think that's just freaking cool, right? Like...
Yeah. Yeah, Deflect Missiles is awesome.
I can't believe you'd say the Warlock is the worst class, that anyone who plays it is
and
bad.
that anyone who plays it
Okay,
is bad.
listen.
Okay.
This is typical YouTube propaganda, okay? I did not... Right.
Many of you just heard me say.
The Warlock is huge, okay? It is huge damage and huge spells.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Step of the Wind say it. Step of the Wind say you can take the dash and disengage action as a bonus action. Yeah, you're reading it. You're reading it correctly.
It is both.
Let's see. What is this?
I'd have been fine if they just added that to the list, but
it's just
I think might be the final version. But this is still cool. I think they should both be available for free. But if you want to spend a point, you could do both. I can see that being a thing.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading doctor's chat message, and my head hurts. Have you ever played World of Warcraft?
Ever? Yes, but maybe a total of like 2 hours.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah, he's like a plague doctor. I like it. Heightened Metabolism is a 7-level feature. He's making a monk regain discipline points. Short rest. We talked about this earlier.
Heightened Metabolism lets them meditate for a minute and do a short rest.
Oh shit, that's huge.
Yes, it is.
Monks are never running out of discipline points then, or they're just gonna flurry constantly and stun constantly, right?
They did
guys, I need a minute. I'm good.
No, just a literal minute.
Yeah. Stunning Strike can now only be used once per turn, and the stun lasts until the start of your next turn. I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it. I like that it's only once per turn because it kind of balances it a bit. But at the same time, I don't like it lasts until the start of your next turn. Because then it's kind of... I guess you double dip, right? How it was before, because it was used to be at the start of their enemy's turn that it ended, right?
I think the thing was just that you could... thank you, baby girl J&J. Heightened Metabolism, I think it's once per long rest you can do that. You just get one short rest per day at a minute. But Stunning Strikes is... or Stunning Strike... So I think the thing was like at level 2... Or whenever you get Stunning Strike, you could... Let's just say you have your extra attack. You could try 4 times on one turn. This is just saying, just once. Easy guy. Easy there.
Calm down. No more stunning.
Yeah. Which I think that's good. The irony is that PvP monks are just gross.
Oh yeah, 100%.
PvP monks are like...
But PvP is not necessarily what D&D is all about, though, if we're being real, right? Like, this is not what it's about.
Not unless you make an enemy monk as a DM.
You know what one of my favorite things to do as a DM?
DM can just do all the same tricks back if they want.
Literally, I did this with my trouble party that I had before, when they would always... Effectively, my Warlock fell into the Eldritch Blast, my Druid fell into the only, casting one spell, my Sorcerer fell into only casting Firebolt, Lightning Bolt. So what I did was I made a reason for there to be like a nega version of their entire group. and you only used abilities that they had access to be like,
I love this.
you can do this too. But
Yes.
it was so much fun, and they're like, wait, I can do that? It's like, yeah, what do you mean? Like,
You're not paying attention.
you're not paying attention. Exactly. Bye, doctor. I wish you luck. Just leave the fish hook in my mailbox.
That's bananas.
But yeah, that is bananas. But it was great. That was the best thing I've ever. That was the number one thing I've ever done as a DM, because it helped my players understand the capabilities of their. Because they were all newer players, so it helped them learn the game more.
You gave them their first steps into a larger world.
Yep, and then they proceeded to keep doing the same thing. But I felt good about it.
Can lead a horse to water.
Exactly.
Keep
What do
going.
we got? Empowered strikes. Formerly key empowered strikes now let you deal force damage.
So
okay.
instead of making your attacks magical, they deal force damage.
I like that.
So what that means is somebody has resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, piercing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's magical bludgeoning, slashing, piercing, well, force is like the least resisted
Thing in the entire
damage
game.
type.
Yeah.
So there you
That's
go.
I like that a lot. It kind of plays into the whole like you punch into the being of the person, and yeah, it's literally like you punch and you break their shoulder over here, even though you punched here or
Yes.
something like. It's just cool.
Yep.
Acrobatic movement is now the name of our movement. Okay. Self restoration replaces stillness of mind, purity of body, and timeless body, and allows you to remove conditions as a bonus action, not an act. That's really nice. That is huge quality of life. Something very small. That doesn't seem
had
like a
some-
lot.
They had some action economy issues. For
Yeah.
sure.
Because there was so much tied to it, especially with your key points, right? Like,
Mhm. What do you think of the next one?
deflect energy is I like the name of that just to start off. Is a 13th level feature allowing you to use deflect missiles to deflect any type of ranged attack, including spell attacks. Mwah. It replaces Tongue of the Sun and Moon, one of the lowest rated monk features. 100% love this. I think this is fantastic. I've been saying monks needed this ability for goddamn years. All right, this is fantastic.
Tongue of the Sun and Moon.
I don't even know what those abilities did, so obviously didn't do much. That's so good. That is so good.
It just, you can understand all spoken languages.
Night, Josh. Have a good one. Oh, that's actually pretty big, but still, it's
It's
very
cool, but it's still just, I think there's, so the monk as is in the current, before playtest aside, like early on, monks are devastatingly powerful. Like,
yeah.
they get 2 attacks at first level or second level whenever they get their martial arts thing. Like, it's so good. It's so
Yep.
good. Then they unlock Flurry of Blows. They're attacking 3 times at level 2.
Yep.
Like, it's ridiculously strong. And then after like level 6, there's like this dead zone where it's just like,
Nothing.
okay.
Yep.
Like your 1D&D rogue video. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Like,
yeah.
You know, that's just kind of the monk level after level at that point. So this, on top of the martial art die, that's just such a nice thing, and it's really not a lot. Like, it's an average of 1 more point of damage, but it's just better.
Yeah. I've thought about. I haven't really talked to anyone about it, but like I've always thought of the monk as someone who like jumps in and out. You know, a very scrappy kind of brawler thing where you're like,
Skirmisher.
bop bop, back up, bop bop
Yeah.
bop bop, move over here. You know, and D&D does not do well with those kind of things because of how
5e,
opportunity
no.
attacks work. Right? It just doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they've done much here to change that, but I mean, it's still.
Well, the dash and disengage at the
But
same
that's a
time.
bonus action, so you're taking away.
They didn't have disengage.
Yeah, they did. Disengage was a step of the wind feature. They didn't have dash and disengage.
Nope.
Right?
No.
No?
No. That's what I'm saying. This is significant.
No, wait a second. No way. You're
Uh-huh.
crazy.
Oh, disengage or dash. You're correct. I apologize.
Yeah, you're nuts.
I am.
But I get it though. You're just losing 1 or 2 attacks, right, for the disengage feature, which actually you get dash
but
and
think about
disengage. Yeah,
having that it's both though, so you can get all your movement. Like you come flying in, and then
yeah. You know what?
and then you fly away too. Like
That's a good
especially,
point. Yeah,
especially if what was it, the charity stream we did? All I did was cast Ray of Frost on an enemy that was like 30 feet away from, I think it was you actually, and I hit them, and it was just like they could only move 20,
like 20 feet. Yeah,
and it burned their action
Yep.
just to get to you. Like that's huge.
yeah. It's a good point. Yeah, I didn't
So-
think of that because the
So the
monk can
skirmisher.
literally run circles around them and then run away from them again. You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And theoretically, they could run over to one person, stunning strike. Cool, I got them stunned. I'll
Run
just
to the
over
other
this
one.
Next one, like there's a lot of.
Yeah, that's actually. You know what? You're right. That is really cool. I didn't consider
There are
that.
subtle hidden power things in the action economy
That
the monk
changed
can take
entirely here.
advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty big. That's really cool. Man, that's. I didn't even consider that. All right, Discipline Survivor was Diamond Soul. Superior Defense. Come on, you dang thing. Superior Defense has been redesigned to not rely on spells. Perfect Discipline has moved from 20th level to 15th, and then Defy Death is a new 20th level feature. All right. When you use the attack action with your unarmed strike or simple weapon, you can use one unarmed strike with a bonus action. Same thing. Dexterous attack, martial arts die. Okay, all of this is the same, except for Step of the Wind, right? Dash and disengage
It's
is a bonus
combined.
action.
Yeah.
And your jump distance is doubled for the turn. Okay.
Well, Jedi jump.
Jedi jump. Weapon mastery. Although,
2 kinds of simple weapons of your choice, such as daggers and spears.
rest. Yeah, okay. Martial discipline, monk subclass. Okay. Slow fall. Stunning strikes when changed. You can spend 1 discipline point. Yeah, the same thing, just once per turn. Evasion, heightened metabolism, short rest for a minute. That's huge. We talked about that.
That's the big thing because they just have more uptime.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, 'cause
cool
when a
things
monk's
they
out
can
of-
do, they can continually do.
Because when monk's out of points,
It changes a lot.
it changes a lot. Monks go from being mega chads to being mega nerds.
Well said.
Yeah, you can use a bonus action to remove a condition rather than an action. That's good.
Mhm.
Deflect energy, any range attack that deal any damage type. That's beautiful. Actually, let's take a quick look at where's deflect. Here it is.
Upload the original.
It's just a 1d8, 1d10. Okay, so that's pretty big. That is huge
So-
for survivability, regardless of anything, right?
So
Like,
deflect missiles is 1d10 plus dex plus monk level, which is the same. Okay.
yeah, and if you reduce it to 0, you can spend a point to redirect the attack towards another creature.
Yep.
But any spell isn't going to be doing less than, well, I mean, I guess a cantrip might, but still. It's still good survivability, right? It's just
Yeah,
like 10
no,
hit points
they're-
effectively.
And I don't think it doesn't cost a point, so it just takes your reaction. So it's,
Yeah. Unless you want to send it back, that's a point.
Right.
But, all right, let's take a look at the subclasses. Warrior of Shadow?
Yeah.
That's a new name.
It's just instead of Way of Shadow.
Way of Shadow.
But
Shadow
yeah.
Arts has been redesigned, giving the monk dark vision. Ooh.
And very important.
Darkness that costs fewer discipline points than before. And the darkness
And-
can be moved each turn during the duration of the spell. And the
And
monk
you can see in it!
see. That's pretty big.
You can see in your own darkness.
That's actually freaking huge.
I created this filth. I want to see in it.
That's
I don't know what that is, but it's just.
yikes.
But that's the whole point of it, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it is. Allow shadow step to be used in bright light. Okay. And cloak of shadows moved to 17th and redesigned. Blah 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 blah. Darkness. You can spend a discipline point to cast darkness.
It's just
you can
one,
move
'cause it was 2 in the original.
At the start of each of your turns, you can move it. So it's a free movement at the start of your turn.
It's nice. It's just
Dark
a free
vision.
advantage, disadvantage zone for you.
You get
That's
60
huge.
foot of dark vision or 120 feet for literally pretty much any class or any race.
If you already had it.
Yeah, and minor illusion cantrip, and use spellcasting wisdom. That's huge. That is just that right there makes the subclass super strong. They can get advantage, and they're just super safe, and they're super easy advantage all the time now. But
free dot Jackson.
your friends are gonna hate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless you have Eldritch Eyes of the Devil's Sight warlocks. They're like, nah, we're good, man.
Spoiler. maybe that's why they wanted to balance it this way. But I think this is not geared towards friendly play. I love it, but
It's a strong point.
It's not right. Like, because if I have a shadow monk in my party and they do this, I'm be like, well, return to sender, fireball, hope for the best, right? Like,
I don't know where you are. Okay.
yeah. But I mean, it's cool. The fact that they can see in it makes it so much better, anyways. So,
Yes.
shadow step, they just changed it so you can teleport in dim light. Was it bright? Okay, so bright light is improved shadow step now, which means it's just step, improved step. Hey guys, look at me step over here. Nice. Improved step, baby. Hey, Magger's back. Magger's Sally's back, everyone.
Hello, welcome back. Get to stepping.
All right, get to stepping. Improved stepping. All right, you have the invisible condition, and you can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take a D10 force damage if you end it there. You flurry blows without spending. That's really good, but at 17th level, you should be really good.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Warrior of the Elements. This
Totally different.
This
Totally different.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Because the Elemental Monk, I love the whole idea of the Elemental Monk. I think that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Never got to play it though. And honestly, I don't know much about it. Just the idea of like being freaking Avatar is cool, right?
Everything about it was good and interesting, except for the fact that everything was so expensive.
Really?
Like it was just. I'll just give you an example real quick. So like, at level 6, you could cast Hold Person with 3 key points. That's half of your key points.
That's a lot.
So like, it's just everything was a lot of key points.
Yeah.
And so you'd
my
burn through
current
it
character is an Elemental Monk. Well, here we go. We get to see if it's gonna stay the same in the next edition of D&D. Magger Sally.
It's so different. So much better, I think.
All right, it's better, you think?
I do, just because I think you want to have things that are reliable.
Yeah.
Or that are at least there, and like Glaric just said, like, played it once. It feels good until your key points are gone within 5 minutes. It's like, and I also want to use Stunning Strike. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You have used all of your key points in one turn. Like, yikes.
All right, well, let's see what it's changed. Disciple of the Elements has been replaced with a new feature gained at the levels of Monk normally gains a subclass feature. Okay, so they changed a lot. Elemental Attunement is a new feature that enhances the Monk's unarmed strike with elemental power, replacing elemental discipline options like Fang or the Fire Snake. Okay. Elemental Burst is a new feature that allows the Monk to create a blast of destructive energy in an area, replacing Flames of the Phoenix. Stride of the Elements is a new feature that enhances the Monk's Step of the Wind, and Elemental Epitome further increases their elemental power. Okay. The Elementalism cantrip. What is that? That's a new spell, obviously, but do we know what it is?
I have it right here. I can read it if you want.
Yeah.
But it's just like a lot of like, it's like an elemental prestidigitation.
Got it.
So like beckon air, you can create a breeze strong enough to ripple cloth, stir dust, rustle leaves, and close open doors and shutters in a 5-foot cube. Back in Earth, you create a thin shroud of dust or sand that covers the surfaces in a 5-foot square. Back in Fire, you create a thin cloud of harmless embers and colored scented smoke in a 5-foot cube. Like, you know, so it's very much like it's good in that way. Very good in that way. But it's just good. It's good flavor. You have control over this. Yes, give me more of that.
Elemental strikes. Whenever you hit with an unarmed attack, you can cause it to deal your choice of acid, cold, fire, or lightning damage rather than its normal. So it's one or this damage type, not bludgeoning plus this.
When you're able to switch it.
When you deal one of these types with your unarmed strike, you can also force the target to make a strength saving throw, and on fail save, you can move the target 10 feet towards or away from you as your elemental enemy swirls around to reach it. That's cool. When you make an unarmed strike, your reach is 10 foot greater than normal. That means you have a 15-foot reach.
Yeah, if you have any Street Fighter 2 fans out there, you're Dawson.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And I like the idea that the monk, they have a lot of battlefield control in the way that they kind of just manipulate where people are. That's huge, especially if you have a wizard or somebody that's got like a wall of fire. It's like, back into it you go. Like, it's good stuff.
I like that. It's just simple things like this, right? Like, these are small little improvements. Granted, I don't actually know the original 2014 version of it, but still.
It's totally different.
Yeah. Environmental burst. As a magic action, you can spend 2 points to cause environmental energy to burst in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point within 120 feet of yourself. Choose a damage type.
Area of effect size.
Yeah. At a point within 120 feet. It literally is, yeah. On a failed save, a creature takes damage of the chosen type equal to 3 rolls of your martial arts die. And at 6th level, that's what, a D8?
I think so.
On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage. So it's 3d8 at 6th level.
Yep.
That's
for 2 key points.
That's what is it? An action? That's
Definitely
pretty good.
Action. Yep, definitely an action.
That's pretty good.
Before or after you take this action, you can make 1 unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Oh, that's also big.
So if you combine that with the elemental strikes, you could push someone into the zone, and then.
That's cool. I like that.
See, little things like this. A lot of people, and I understand the criticism of caster classes are more powerful. I totally hear that. I totally get it. But sometimes these tiny little manipulations of where people are radically
make
alters
a huge difference.
The game. It really does. Yeah. And the monks are good at that. And this is good. I like this.
Yeah, that's. I think because right now Way of the Open Hand in 2014 has the push pull whenever you hit and stuff. This is just a better version of that, right? It just is.
I think it's just a push, but yeah.
It's push or knock prone or something like that.
Push, knock prone, or can't take reactions, which is fun.
Which is really good. Oops, hold on a second. Jeez, someone's asking me my Netflix login. Oh, jeez, what's my Netflix login?
You should totally send that out on the airwaves.
I think this.
You can do it.
Let me. I don't even think it's my account.
Oh no! No!
Stupid freaking.
Damn it, Jake.
Let me do. It probably did change.
Way of the Open Hand or Way of the Clapping Hands?
I don't.
Come on now.
You're really making it hard to text with the stupid shit you're giving me. Maybe.
Maybe, baby.
I talk out loud when I'm such an old freaking man. I talk as I'm texting, but I don't talk. I literally say maybe as I'm typing a whole like sentence out. Like,
You're the guy who tweets, "I'm sitting on the patio."
yeah, yeah, literally.
It's like,
Oh,
Dad, nobody
good
cares. Wave the slapping.
What do you
hand,
mean?
That's right.
my fiance's father, he's a big barbecue guy, so he has a smoker and everything, and
Yes.
he takes pictures and posts them to Facebook, and we're just like, no one cares, and he's like,
And
that's
his
not
first TikTok
true.
is like, check out this barbecue.
No, it'd be more like so today I made a smoked stack of ribs, right? It's just like no awareness of it, but like it's just he's having fun and I love it, you know?
That's good.
Plus he makes damn good barbecue.
Does he have the green egg? That thing?
I don't know what you're
It's like
talking
a
about.
smoker. It's like a smoker. It's like I don't know. It's what it is.
He's got a smoker. I don't know
Yeah.
anything else about it.
Yeah.
But way of the slapping hands. Oh, need we go back to the get bad chick. God, we're fucking losers.
It's kind of the way it should be. Stride of the elements at
Yes,
level
anyways,
11.
back
When
to
you use your step
D&D.
of the wind, you gain a fly speed and a swim speed equal to your speed for 10
Wait,
minutes.
you just get a flight. You can fly at level 11.
For 10 minutes.
That's crazy. Well, fly is 10-minute spell, isn't it, or is it a 1-minute spell? I'm pretty sure it's 10
Fly
minutes.
is 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So when you use your step of the wind, you gain a fly speed and swim speed equal to your speed for 20 minutes. So does that mean you use it once and now you can fly for 10 minutes? Or does that mean... Oh yeah, what else could that be?
It has to be that. You can't use
Like,
all your key
well,
points to
oh.
maintain it.
Well... Okay. Or...
I DM for one.
Or is it that you use it one time? Or is it just every time you use step of the... No, it has to be the other one. It has to be.
I DM. Oh, I DM for one. You didn't DM me. You DM for an open hand monk. I get it. Understood. Sorry.
Come on, Lee.
Listen,
come on.
man.
Get with it.
My boomer brain is too big. Right?
Big brand.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just a flight speed. You just get access to fly,
And they already have great
which is
speed, so
huge.
they
Plus,
already
with
have
their
great speed.
already crazy movement, monks' movement speed's already bananas. right?
Bananas.
Literally banana. Where's my emote? Bananas.
Bananas.
That's crazy. That just giving them free flight is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually kind of scary.
Well, I mean, it costs a key point.
Oh wow, to cast a 3rd level spell?
At level 11.
Yeah. Hey, you ain't you're right. I'm technically a millennial, but boomer brain's a phrase people know.
Boomer.
But I'm also very ashamed to say I'm a millennial because everyone seems to hate millennials for no real reason.
People like to hate. People like to hate is easy.
Shut up. You like the rogue.
I really don't.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Elemental Epitome. When you use Elemental Attunement feature, which is just your
That's
your
the-
energy, your
The base thing.
base thing, you gain resistance to the damage type, and you can change it. That's cool. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And when you use your Step of the Wind, your speed increases by 20 feet until the end of the turn. For that duration, wait. When you use Step of the Wind, your speed increases. Okay, so you're flying at Mach 10. Once you get to this, you're literally Goku. Like,
Your greatest ability is your availability. That's the theme of the monk, man. That's
wow.
just- yeah.
It's one of your martial arts die when you enter space.
If you can't be where the action is, you're always in the room where it happens, Lee.
Yeah, you
That's
literally.
what it is.
If
That's
nothing's
what it
happening,
is.
you make something happen.
But it's just like where there's a need, there's a monk.
Yeah, because Monk will be there next turn, and then they'll run right past you because they little Looney Tunes like because they ran too fast past it.
Now I am all about empowered strikes. There's another thing.
Once on each of your turns, you can deal extra damage to a target equal to 1 roll of your martial eye die when you hit with an unarmed strike. So it's just another D12.
So it's basically that one is two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2d12 at this point. You're right.
Pretty good.
My fists are equal to 2 great axes.
Jesus, you're right. Yeah.
Think of it that way, right?
Yeah, that's something to say. What year were you born? I was born in 92. 1992.
The year Columbus sailed
the
ocean blue.
Blue.
Ocean bleu.
Bleu. The ocean.
Bleu.
When Columbus sailed the ocean, when Columbus flew across the ocean because he was a frickin' monk. Anyways,
Yes.
Warrior of the Hand. So this is with Way the Open Hand that I mentioned earlier, and then I think Magar mentioned as well. Glarak mentioned that he was DMing for one.
Yep.
Open Hand now requires a saving throw for all 3 effects, not just for 2 of them. Okay, that's a smite nerf. Wholeness of Body now requires a bonus action rather than an action, so that's your healing as your bonus action,
That's a
which
very
is
nice.
And its healing is tied to your martial arts die and wisdom. Okay. Fleet Step is now an 11th level feature that replaces Tranquility. Tranquility was the one that makes it so you can't be feared, right? I think that's what it was.
Fleet Step, you originally, you mean?
No, Tranquility was the one that you couldn't be feared or something.
I have it
right?
up. Beginning at 11th level, you can enter a special meditation that surrounds you with an aura of peace. At the end of a long rest, you gain the effect of a sanctuary spell that lasts until
Oh, that's not at all what I thought it was.
the start of your next long rest. Wow.
Sanctuary's one
Sanctuary is fun.
my
It's a
players
fun one.
love to mess with me with Sanctuary all the time.
Yeah.
And it works more than it should. But it's so frustrating.
Got to attack someone else.
Yeah, exactly. You just punch the air. Quivering Palm, that's the one that just Quivering Palm's the one that drops into 0 hit points or something, right? I think that's what it was.
It is reduced to 0 hit points, yeah.
Yeah, no longer able to deal uncapped amounts of damage. It was too powerful for the number of points, so it just deals a certain amount then.
If it succeeds, at best, the creature takes, from the creature's side of the target side of things, at best it takes 10d10 necrotic.
Yikers.
And this is actually now it's just 10d12 plus your monk level of force damage on a failed save, or half as much on a success.
Jesus.
But so it's 10d12 plus at least 17 at this point.
Yeah, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a 17th level ability, so
Yeah, that's the capstone.
yeah. All right, Open Hand. You can target must make a con save, or they can't take reactions. Push, target must make a strength save, or they get pushed 15 feet away from you. That's pretty big, 15-foot push, which is the same as it is.
This
I
is
think
what
it's
Cleric was talking
yeah,
about.
it said 15 feet.
The only difference is that the reaction thing, instead of just happening, is a con save.
Yeah. Which is a bummer because con saves are. I always say this in my videos. Con saves are statistically the best save amongst all monsters in 5e currently. I think the average monster has a +4. The average amongst all monsters, which doesn't mean much, but still.
Yeah, most of the most powerful effects, like Stunning Strike,
are all capped behind
because
that.
it's that big. It's let's
Yeah.
make it a con save because
Wholeness of Body, you can heal your martial arts die and regain the hit points equal to that, plus your wisdom modifier. So that's pretty good. That's a D8, D6 to D12 plus 3 to 5, right? That's pretty good.
Yep.
And it's only a bonus action, which is really good. And you can do it 3 to 5 times. Fleet Step. You can easily stride out of harm's way. You can use Step of the Wind option on your martial discipline feature without spend. Whoa!
Oh, I thought it was Fleek Step. Like I'm so cool. I'm
Boo.
that deserves a.
That deserves. Where's the boo? Where's the children booing sound effect? Is there a children booing sound effect? There is. That works.
Maybe the best one.
I can add my own sound effects to my Discord channel. I'm gonna do that just for these moments. I mean, that's pretty big. Not having to use any that's going to take a while to get used to. Yikes.
Yeah.
Discipline points to do that is pretty huge. And then you have
Yeah.
your... I mean, I guess it wouldn't actually technically matter, right? Because you can get discipline points back on a 1 minute short
but
rest.
that's more stunning strikes. That's more on
One per
flurry
turn.
of blows. Well, I'm just saying, like, it's not a drain on that resource if you decide to use
Yeah.
that.
All right,
So-
that's not as good as I thought it was. It's nice, but it's not as great.
I think it's hidden. I think the value there is hidden.
You think so?
Well, just because I think,
I mean,
let's just say in a combat, I don't know, we'll say in a full adventuring day,
yup.
you do this 3 times. Maybe that's a little high, but those are 3 points you could spend on something else you'd rather use them on.
Yeah. I guess.
It's not incredible, like it's not overpowered, but there's these tiny little manipulations of the economy that I think it just.
I guess this to me, it's the same
situational.
exact class, really, right? Like there's minimal
it's
minimal
largely the same.
differences, right? Like there's,
Yes.
and then when you compare it to like Elements and Way of Shadow, I feel like it's just underwhelming. Not that it is underwhelming, but when you compare it to the size of the changes between the two subclasses, I feel just bored by this more than I
don't
feel
think it needed
excited by
much
it.
changes, though.
I don't think it did either. I
Yeah.
think my reaction now is just a side effect of what we've read past to get to this point.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like, really? This is still mostly.
Exactly, right? Like I'm greedy. Like, really?
Yeah.
This state does? Oh no, it's a Constitution saving
I don't
throw
want
now.
power creep. I want power surge.
Exactly, exactly. I tried to push a Trent away with a spell. The tree is not moving. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, you can certainly try to do whatever you want. A nat 20 does not mean always success on things. I'm sorry.
Nope.
It's just, but you know what? I appreciate your attempt, and I will narrate it in the funniest way I freaking can. Don't you worry.
Stargate Mind. I am building the surge.
That's
Yes.
right. I'm building the no more power creep, power surge.
Yeah.
That needs to be a new emote. Power surge with you just sitting there like this.
Yes.
Yeah, basically break bounded. Exactly.
Who needs
100%.
it? We're
No
good.
one needs it. We all just want to be super powerful, crazy people that can fly around on our magical monk discipline points and punch people from 15 feet away and then be a bear with a pole arm and make people not move in my moonbeam.
Yes. Overall, though, I do like what they did to the monk. I think
Yeah.
it tweaked, got some nice little tune-ups.
A lot of small quality of life changes to the monk that add up to a lot more than it would seem initially at face value.
Yes. I completely agree. And the elements is a viable thing now. It's something that
Exactly.
I look at and I go, ooh, because I actually made a homebrew Way of the Arcane Disciple caster class for the monk, and I thought
Yeah.
it was a fun little thing. It was, but I was just like, if you have the 4 elements itch, just play this one. And
Overall,
this
they're
is
good.
nice.
Overall, the 4 classes we've seen so far, Bard, I think that's a winner. Cleric, I think clerics, like, they didn't
don't think
lose
they needed
anything. I
much.
think they're just neutral, right? They're pretty much similar.
They-
Oh my god, my eye is so itchy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but clerics I don't think needed any changes.
No, not at all. I agree. I just,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of in leveling the differences of changes, like clerics stayed roughly the same, which
Yeah.
is fine. Clerics were fine as they were.
Mhm.
Druids, I honestly think druids. I think druids came out on top so far out of these 4.
Like as far as who got the biggest buff.
In terms of like, I what is the word I'm looking for? It's in terms of overall changes, druids got probably the most change so far.
Hmm.
Maybe not. They didn't get the best of it per se, but they
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking maybe the monk. Certain subclasses.
the monk got the best.
Wait, Circle of the Sea is just stupidly broken.
But that's not a druid thing. That's a singular subclass thing.
Yeah. I was just thinking about.
By the way, the OP monk is very vulnerable to archers. Wait, if the DC ceiling is 100, then breaking bounded accuracy becomes the new game. Yeah, well, DC. If you're fighting anything that has a DC 100, then it's a rough game as it is. And my math skills
to you.
Yeah, my math skills are not at that level to compete, man. I struggle with D10s. Okay. Yeah. All right. I know we're going a little late. How much are you still have time to go, or?
I'm okay if you want to keep going. I'm
Okay.
fine.
I don't know. I don't think I can
to
get
text
through.
me if she needs me, and she hasn't. So.
I don't think I can go through the whole thing. I'm starting to fade. Well,
Okay.
actually, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue. If we blast through some of these, we can probably get through all of them.
Paladin to me was largely the same. One of the key things there, lay on hands, is now a bonus action, which is wonderful.
That's beautiful. That they needed that. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I like using bonk sticks. No, that's a bard monk subclass. Bonk.
Bonk.
Come on, we've been there.
College of Dance.
Spellcasting is no longer tied to spell slots. Can
No
change.
cantrips.
Can change one. Oh. Wait, did paladins?
Well, not in 2014, but in the last 1D&D update, yes.
Oh, they okay.
Sometimes they're referring to that. Sometimes they're referring to.
They get weapon mastery. It's a new feature. Paladin Smite, formerly known as Divine Smite, now gives you a list of Paladin exclusive Smite spells. That's kind of cool. I mean, it sounds cool. I'll look at it in a second.
That was to get the Smite spells out of just the Divine list itself, because I think that's good. Especially
I never give the Paladin enough time to look over it, man. I really don't. It's probably my least investigated class, or my least class that I've looked at with a fine-tooth comb, right?
I kind of just breezed right past it too when I looked at this.
Yeah. Paladin subclass now match the level progression in the 24. Okay, so they're reverting back to their original subclass things that they had. Because I remember they were trying to standardize subclass features in every class, but it looks like they reversed that in this whole thing.
They did. They did keep the level 3 as when you get your subclass for everything, but everything else.
But the features changed.
Follows the patterns, yeah.
Order of Protection returned to 6th level. Now does nothing on a successful save. Or of Courage is returned to 10th. Okay, so they reverted it effectively back to what it was for a lot of this stuff. Radiant Strikes now works with melee weapons and unarmed strikes, so you can be a holy fisty paladin. And Restoring Touch and move to 14th level, and Divine Conduit has been removed in favor of Aura Expansion returning. I love the Aura. I think the Aura is just a... the Paladin Aura is like the thing I think about when I think of Paladins, right?
It's so good.
Yeah.
Paladins are just... I mean, they're the cornerstone of your party.
You know what? It's hysterical that you say that, because everyone... Well, I shouldn't say everyone. I find that the vast majority of... Or the vocal majority of people that I hear always crap on the Paladin because it's boring. You know, it's
so strong.
rigid. And when everyone thinks of the Paladin, they think Smite. What else do you have other than Smite? Well, you're right. The Paladin is not like a... Look at these fancy things I can do. I can do 20 backflips and fly in the air with my discipline points. It's I can support my party and literally win combat by just standing in a place, right?
They tank,
and they spank.
They tank and spank. That's it. There it is. Because you tank it, and then you spank it.
Oh man,
they're ridiculously strong.
Yeah. I played a Paladin in a one shot, and the issue I had was I couldn't actually. I played a Paladin in multiple slots in one shots. In our one shot where we did that with OKSDM and Mistress and those guys. Also in another one of our shots on our channel, I did a one shot Paladin, and every single time I played a Paladin, I'll get there when I get there, guys. I'm trudging along, have fun. Yeah. We got the angry Italian flying towards combat. The Paladin's trudging along over the tree roots.
Have fun storming the castle.
Exactly, right?
between the cleric spell or the divine spells, the lay on hands, the aura,
Mm-hmm.
the high AC, the high hit points. They could use great weapons. They smite. They're
really good. They are so much
Yeah.
better than they get credit for because they're not exciting, right?
To me, if you're asking which is just the strongest class in the game, I'm talking about them. I'm talking about them and the cleric, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I never consider the cleric either, but the cleric, everyone always says you can make a party full of clerics and just win, right? Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Your damage is going to be a little too dependent on spells, but yeah. That's where I like to throw a fighter in that mix.
All right, let's go through this.
Yeah.
You get weapon mastery, which you can do
Just like the barbarian.
just
had it in
like
the
that.
last one.
Yep. Paladin smites. This is what they changed. So all of these smites are now paladin specific smites,
Correct.
which is
I
fine.
think it's Searing Smite and I forget the other one. Not Thunder.
Shining smite's new. And blinding smite I think is new too.
No, blinding existed.
Oh, it did. But shining smite definitely did not, right? Yeah.
Formerly Glimmering Smite.
What the hell's glimmering smite?
I don't know.
Whatever. I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's the change that you get there. You get access to that. And now, do the smites work the same way? You've mastered smiting your targets with divine energy. You always have certain spells ready.
Yes.
In addition, when you cast one of the prepared spells... What?
So it's a bonus action which you take immediately after hitting a creature. So
So it costs your bonus action now.
well, the smite spells always did. That would be
But-
a thing you'd concentrate on.
But that's
And
what
you
I'm
have to
asking.
precast it.
Because Paladin Divine Smite was just a thing. It didn't take anything other than your spell slot, right? It didn't
Right.
cost anything other than a
Yes,
slot. It
so,
didn't cost
yeah,
an
I guess
action.
they got rid of just the regular.
Um,
Yeah, I guess they got rid of just the divine smite
Well,
feature.
yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
To be honest, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Uh,
No
just
more
from a
two
power-
smite. No more two smites in a turn.
Well, that too, because you only get one bonus action.
Yup. And different level of spells.
But I also kind of like different kinds of smites. Like, what kind of smite are you choosing?
I would have been okay with. I mean, I understand why they did it.
It's fun. Yeah.
But, like, I would have been okay with them just giving different types of smites to the paladin the same way the old one functioned. Right? I feel like... Or maybe not. Maybe I'm not okay with that. I don't know. But, like, Divine
You
Smite
always
was
have
just...
these prepared. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, hold on. Divine Smite is a spell. Hang on.
Oh, that's probably way down at the bottom, right? I'm not
Well,
going
I'm just
all the
searching
way
it.
down.
I'm searching. I'll find it. Oh, I don't see it.
Here's how dice math works, bro. Get this. A D4 through D12, up to 5 dice each have this average. Ready? It's only 11, 22, and 44. You're now a dice... Dude, you lost me when you got to the 11. All right, the 11, I got lost.
Okay,
man.
so yes, this it is the same exact thing. It's just a spell now that you always have prepared at level 2.
So it's a bonus
just where
action spell.
Yes,
Okay, so it's the same thing. So it is nerfed then. Okay.
it is a little nerfed, but it should. It should have been nothing. There are two things I've found that ruin combats, quote unquote, the fastest, is an action surge or a
And
paladin
a
going
open
Nova.
Circle of the Sea Druid.
Oh no. But I'm just saying, or a paladin going Nova,
Yeah.
especially if that.
Yeah,
paladin also
I
takes
get
action
it. I get
surge.
it. I get it. Well, here's a question. I mean, well, actually, this is another issue that you have with it, right? And I guess not necessarily an issue, just a function of how the spell works. You cast a spell prior to making an attack. So you have to hit the attack for the smite to work now.
Well, that's the way it used to work. Now you can use it as a bonus action in response to you
hitting
something.
Okay, so you don't have to.
It's like a bonus reaction.
Got it. Okay, so you don't have to
thing.
precast it. Good. There we go.
Right.
Clarification.
Which is also nice though because they also used to take your concentration slot, so now you could concentrate on bless. So it's a little rearranging,
little change up there.
Quality of life.
Cool. I think...
like it better.
Yeah, I mean,
just from an overall game.
Power surge! Power surge!
Paladins don't need
surge!
We're good. We're good. Surge cola. Now I want to have some surge cola.
All right.
I'm dating myself.
Surge cola, man. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yep. I used to play a lot of hockey as a kid, and I remember one time, like, one of the guys on our team would just brought like a 12-pack for everybody. Like, yeah, we're gonna be great. Like by the second period, we were like, okay.
Yeah. The first one, you're like, let's go.
We got a 3-goal lead. This is great.
Yep. The second.
How did you lose?
Why is half my team asleep?
Yep.
Effectively like a buff nerf kind of deal. Exactly, right? Like it's just they try to fit it in there better.
It's like putting a compressor on the paladin.
Yeah. I guess that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Abjure foes. Let's take a look at this now. You overwhelm enemies with divine awe as you present your holy symbol. Awe. The holy symbol of weapons. You can target a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier that you can see, and each creature is dazed and frightened if they fail that save for a minute or take damage. I don't remember what dazed is. That's the new thing they introduced, right?
Yeah, so from 4E, that was instead of being able to basically have your action move and a minor action, you just had a regular action which could be transferred down. So here you're just getting an action. You don't get a bonus action. You don't get a move.
Okay, so they effectively put a condition to.
It's a new condition.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, because there's a couple of spells that do that in 5th edition that aren't conditions. They're just say you can only do this, this, or this.
They codified it.
Yeah, they codified it. Okay.
Which is good.
Okay, that's pretty good. Basically, everything rolled is an average of 11, 22, 30. Listen, I've already taught you. I don't think you were here when I mentioned my high school level of math understanding. Jake already talked to me about my math on averages is freaking terrible. Like every single and Glaric mentioned about how I was wrong. He didn't even mention it. He just brought it up, and I appreciate everyone
wrong,
here
bro.
for not making fun of me in the comment section. Literally every video I've ever freaking made. But yeah,
I've never seen you always use like imprecise language, which lets it be okay. Like,
that's why I do that because I have no
12
trust.
Damage. But it works when you say that. It's fine.
Well, for the D&D community, the TTRPG community, I've been lucky that a lot of my audience has been very nice and understanding and not the typical neckbeard audience. Okay?
Fair enough. That was on my rogue video.
Exactly. They all found your rogue video.
They were like, you're toxic. I was like,
exactly.
oh my God.
What is this? Bada bing. What is that? What is that? Is that you? I was like, wait, where did my audio go? Like, was that music now? Crickets? What happened? Sorry, I was looking this up.
What are you looking at?
Gamer Cat said we should look at, well, not we, but everyone here should look at a PDF. If you want to send me a message, if that is not just spam and is literally something to do with TTRPG or D&D stuff, send it to me and I'll look at it.
We'll take a look at it. Right?
But if it's not, stop spamming, you bummy, even though you're not spamming. But I will definitely take a look at it if you have it. You can. I think I have my email or my Discord somewhere in the description or in my YouTube channel page. I don't know.
Join your Discord.
But it's somewhere there. Anyways.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Oath of Devotion, Oath of Glory. I'm not going through all of these. I think they're pretty much the same. I don't think they mentioned them, right? Like,
I don't think there's anything that's crazy here. So if you're definitely looking to skip stuff, I think.
Yeah, I turn the fate. Yeah, turn the fate of this. Restrain multiple enemies. That's cool.
Yeah, it's not that they didn't do.
Yeah,
anything,
they didn't
but
do. They did stuff here, but I want to
think it
jump through some
expands it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because I am getting a little tight on time because I'm freaking starving.
You haven't eaten dinner, have you?
I have not eaten dinner. No.
Oof.
Yeah. All right, Ranger. Let's see what they did with the Ranger. Because they updated the Ranger in one of the playtests.
They did a lot of things that were like kind of cool features, like Deft Explorer and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And the other playtest, they kind of just said you get expertise in survival. You know, so like they kind of rearrange it that way, which kind of takes away from part of what makes a Ranger special.
Yeah.
But here it looks like they kind of did a little bit of a hybrid approach.
Depth Explorer replaces the expertise feature at level 1. Includes one expertise choice along with some terrain-oriented material, which playtesters requested, and is now improved at 9th level. Okay, so they kind of combined
Exactly.
the old and the new.
Which I think they should have expertise in survival. They're freaking Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. I think people get not mixed up per se, but people have like you kind of skew into the Druid and Ranger world to get they are naturally skewing into each other, right? So I think that
Like a Paladin and
sometimes
Cleric would.
yeah, exactly, right? I think that's kind of what people they try to eke away from to give people their classes their own unique
Their own space.
You know, but
Mhm.
let's be honest, Ranger and Nature probably make sense too, right? But Druid and Nature also
Heck
make
yeah.
sense too. So it's just one of those things that you can't get away with when you have certain archetypes.
This
and
is
stuff.
this is the warrior, the nature warrior,
Exactly, yeah.
as instead of the nature priest.
Yeah. The what is it? The animal barbarian would like a word with you. Spellcast. Yeah, it looks like they've done this change with every spellcasting change, pretty much. They've done this with every pretty much spellcaster that I've read so far, I think.
Yeah, they took away the cantrips.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also get weapon mastery.
And then
So-
favorite enemy has moved to 2nd level, and it no longer removes concentration from Hunter's Mark, which was overpowered in playtests. That's kind of not
So they brought
fun.
concentration back to Hunter's Mark, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
What?
This is
Why would it be
overpowered, but my Circle of the Sea, free 12 damage in every single round.
Oh, we didn't play test that. We want you to play test that. for us.
Exactly. What is it? Hunter's Mark is a D10 of damage, I think?
Originally D6, but perhaps they
Maybe, I
changed
don't
it.
know. I'm not a Ranger player. Ranger is probably the class I played the least. And oddly enough, Paladin's probably the class I played the third most. Alright. Ranger subclass. It's 2014, so they put it back to the level progression. Conjure Barrage is the 9th level feature, which is great that it's not a spell. I do like that. Nature's Veil no longer uses spell slots and has moved to 14th level. Tireless now gives temporary hit points as an action, as an action. I don't remember it, so I can't really speak much. Conjure Volley, Feral Senses, and Foe Slayer is a new and improved version of the 2014 version, replacing the Epic Boon. Okay, so they did change a good chunk of this.
Yeah.
Favorite enemy. You always have Hunter Mark prepared, and you can cast it a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier without expending a spell slot. So they kept that bit, but it does require concentration still.
The only thing I don't like about that is it being disrupted, but the fact that you get that many uses of it, it's just another bonus action to activate it again. So
Yeah.
it's probably fine.
Oh, here comes Glaric again. A D6, so 3.5 average damage per attack. Thanks, Glaric, reminding me about my terrible math with averages.
Well, D6, 1 plus 6 is 7 divided by 2.
Shut up, Jake, from State Farm.
That is how you do it.
I know it is. I've learned. I don't.
You could just DM me if you want to know before you make a video. I'll tell you. Okay, you're on. You got it, man.
Yes, no one will ever know. I'll message you or Gloria. I'll be like, hey, what's the average of this many dice? And I'll put a special thank you at the end, right next to the members and patrons, with special thank you to these guys for
As long
helping
as you get to
with
see
my
my swirling jumping jacks going by at the same
So
time, we're good.
So good. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Conjure Barrage. We saw that in the last one. Conjure Volley. You always have Conjure Volley prepared. Okay, saw that. Nature's Veil was changed, right? As a bonus action, you can now give yourself the invisible condition until the end of your next turn. You can use it. That's so good. I think that's so good. I like that. I like it's a bonus action too.
Definitely, and it doesn't have anything competing for the resource too.
Exactly.
You just have X amount of uses to your wisdom modifier.
Okay, now Beastmaster. Here's what I want to know. Is this any good?
I didn't even
because
look at it,
2014
don't
was
like it.
garbage, and we all know it. Everyone knows it. If you don't think Beastmaster 2014 Original Player's Handbook was garbage, you're lying to yourself, or you're a very special person.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And chances are, never mind. I'm not going any deeper. Primal Companion returns from Tasha's Cauldron and everything.
Should we
Okay,
eat chips as a kid.
so they kept the Tasha's addendum. Exceptional training now allows you to command your beast to use its bonus action to take the dash action, and the beast attack ignores damage resistance to use its bonus action. Okay, but what does that cost for you? And Bestial Fury now allows your beast to benefit from your... That's really cool. That's cool.
I agree.
All right, Primal Companion. Wait a minute. I've seen these before. Beast of the Land, Beast of the Sea, Beast... I've seen these stat blocks before, Jake.
Uh-huh.
They copy-pasted.
Yeah.
They said Jake from State Farm didn't like our druid forms,
Yeah.
we're gonna put him as a subpar ranger subclass.
I just don't understand why it would be so hard to have like a wolf companion, a bear companion, an alligator companion, whatever. Like you could do whatever you want, right? And just put some formulas on it. Just give me just a little more. I don't know. I just feel
it does look like there is like charge, there is binding strikes, and there is. I guess
I might be the wrong person to ask because I'm just not a big companion. It's just not a big thing
if
for
we're
me.
being honest, okay. 5 times the ranger level. So actually, I want to look at this, okay, because this.
You looking at Tasha's?
I want to look at the original ranger.
Beastmaster.
Ranger companion. Yeah, it's just a quarter CR creature. Like, yeah, let's go to Tasha's because that's fucking terrible.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. No, I'm actually. I think there's a lot of good things in these templates. I just wish I had a little. They just had a little more depth. Maybe that's me just being
Beastmaster
nitpicky, which highly possible.
Yep, Beast of the Land. Here's the Beast of the Land, Beast of the Sea stuff. They kept pretty much all of this stuff the same.
It's probably all the same.
Charge, bite. Yeah, it's literally the same. That's so shitty, man. It wasn't working even with Tasha's. It just doesn't work, right? Like,
to be honest, I'm ignorant. I have no experience here because I never want to play them. I don't think I've even sat at a table with them, and the only one I have experience with is literally watching Laura Bailey and Trinket. So,
in combat, the beast acts during your turn. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes is the dodge action, unless you use your bonus action.
Which I don't think there's a lot competing for the Ranger's bonus action. So I don't think that's terrible. And that is extra stuff. So like I don't want to sit here and say it has no that it's not viable. It's just not something I've given enough attention to.
Yeah.
Because if I was gonna play a Ranger, I'm playing either a Hunter or a Gloomstalker. Those would be the two I would gravitate towards.
Yeah, I guess The only bonus action for a hunt or a ranger is just right now is the Nature's Veil. I guess that's fair. Can you not do a bonus action ranged attack? Is that not a thing anymore? Or was that never a thing? Or was that just a bonus action attack, melee attack with dual wielding?
think
that was just a dual wielding, right?
A dual wielding thing. I think a lot of rangers would go crossbow expert, so that would be kind of a way to utilize it, because I don't think there is much that competes there.
I guess so. I guess that's right. It just feels like a cop-out, doesn't it?
I think I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
you know
fair.
what I mean? Like, it's just not my thing, and I just look at Beast of the Land, Beast of the Sea, Beast of the Sky, and I go, I get it. I find it lazy. That's just my opinion. Cleric points out, switching targets from Hunter's Mark is also a bonus action, which of course, that is correct.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's another point.
But usually, I think if you're using Hunter's Mark, you're probably going after the beefy boy in the group, in combat, or at least, I mean, as like a striker damage dealing class, that's kind of should be your mindset.
It can take 2 action or 2 attacks, and it deals extra damage with the Hunter's Mark, which is cool, I guess. That is nice. I mean, they're not going to be dealing a bunch of damage, but I don't think that's what it's about, right? Like, maybe they will.
Well, think about this, right? So a great sword is 2d6. If you have Hunter's Mark up, it's 1d8 plus 2 plus 1d6.
I guess that is a good chunk of damage, yeah.
Yeah, and it's out of your bonus action if you look at it that way. And if they get extra attack, then it's even more. So it probably is a viable way to play. I just find it.
It looks like
cumbersome.
Cumbersome. When you cast a spell targeting yourself, you can also affect your primal companion beast.
That's the word I'm looking for. It's just cumbersome.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. You know what? Reading this more, I guess it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And you're right. I'm not very well versed in this either. I guess my gut reaction is purely purely like, why?
It's just bland.
Yeah. It's like
cumbersome and bland.
Let's go back to Way of the Open Hand or Warrior of the Hand with the monk, right? It's just meh, right?
Yeah, I like I said,
okay.
My ability to critique this is just my own imagination. It's not anything I have experience with. So
all right, well, let's go to Gloomstalker. You know this one, right?
A bit.
Dread Ambusher now allows the ranger to deal extra damage more often than only during the first round of combat. So extra damage, and includes the Frightened condition. Umbral Sight now increases dark vision by 60 feet. Stalker's Flurry has been redesigned to enhance the Frightened effect granted by Dread Ambusher. And Shadowy Dodge allows you to teleport immediately after an attack misses. We like teleports.
Teleporting is fun.
Gloomstalker Magic. Okay. Disguise Self, Rope Trick, Fear, Greater Invisibility, and Seeming all make sense.
I love Rope Trick.
Mm-hmm.
Such a silly, fun, like...
It's just a stupid spell. It's like a...
Yeah, but
want to see a magic trick? Like...
It's great, though. It's great. If you're in a big jam and you're like, I don't know what to do, like, is this a safe spot to rest? Well, it is now.
Yep.
You can get that short rest.
Oh, man. It's such a silly spell, but it's so good. Okay. Ambush's Leap. At the start of the first turn of each combat, your speed increases by 10. Yep. Okay. Frighten. Once per turn, when you attack a creature and hit it with a weapon, you can deal an extra d8 psychic damage and force it to make a wisdom save or become frightened until the start of your next turn. That's huge. You can use this benefit a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. Okay.
And then you add your wisdom modifier to your initiative.
That's pretty big. That's pretty good. That Frightened condition?
Huge. That's huge because you can not only protect yourself, but you can protect your whole team.
Yeah, because they can't get near you. Frightened is... There is a lot of...
The initiative boost will be more likely to go first,
You'll go first. Yeah, exactly. That's... I mean, it is a wisdom save. But, I mean, even still, I think wisdom save is middle of the pack. I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really good. And it's a number of times equal to your wisdom mod, which is, let's be honest, either 2 or 3, probably, right? Like,
Yeah.
4 maybe.
But if you know you're in a boss fight, or whatever,
If that
the case
doom
may be,
music
like,
kicks
that
in,
thing is
yeah.
Yes, this one looks particularly scary. There we go.
Umbral Sight, Dark Vision. Okay, we saw that. Iron Mind, you've honed your ability to resist the mind-altering powers of your prey. You gain proficiency in Wisdom Save. That's really nice. But I think that's already there, right? Iron Mind, yeah, it is. Stalker's Flurry.
But you gain proficiency in intelligence. Oh wait, wisdom saving throws. And
if you already have proficiency,
intelligence or charisma. Gotcha.
I mean, that's pretty big too.
Yeah.
All right, Stalker's Flurry was redesigned to enhance the frighten effect. So you can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature that is within 5 feet. I got an ad playing in the background. I'll mute that. Sorry. That is within 5 feet of the original target, and that is within the weapon range. I mean, that's okay, but how often are creatures literally neck and neck, right, shoulder to shoulder like that? I think that's not really going to come up very frequently.
Or what's the other one? Mass fear?
Each creature within 10 feet of the target must make a wisdom save or become frightened. So yeah, Matt, it's literally that. So this is the one you're always going to use. You're literally always going to use this, right? It's never going to be this. Yeah. And that's only.
Do you realize how strong that has the potential to be?
But it's
if
only,
they don't have ranged attacks.
It's only 10 feet. It's a.
I know that.
20
but if there's a group.
Yeah.
If there's a group kind of 10 feet of the creature, that's a 25-foot diameter.
Yeah. That's up to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 creatures if your DM plays that way. That's
potentially that can't approach you.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Potentially. And potentially that means that many actions, if they don't have ranged options, are wasted.
And even if they do have ranged options, they're at disadvantage.
Yes.
That's really good.
So that is a very strong feature.
But there are a lot of creatures that are immune to fear. But
also fair.
Aside of that, this is really I don't understand the sudden strike thing. It's very, very infrequently that there's enemies literally right next to each other, right? Yeah. It's just like you're always going to be doing mass fear, right? Like there's no reason not to.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right, shadowy dodge. You dodge the wisp of supernatural shadows around you. When a creature makes an attack against you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on that roll. If the attack misses, you can teleport to 30 feet. Okay, so you can't free teleport. If an attack misses you, you can teleport and be like, I'm out of here.
But, I mean, you're imposing disadvantage on the roll, so decent chance of that happening.
Nope, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
They don't think they do that now, right? You don't teleport, you just disadvantage. Yeah, it's just disadvantage.
Correct.
They added the teleport to it.
Correct.
All right, and then hunter. Let's go to the hunter now.
Yep.
Hunter's Prey now contains 3 options from 2014, and Giant Killer has been named to Retaliator. Hunter's Lore has moved from 6th to 3rd level. Defensive Tactics returns, but it contains Evasion and Uncanny Dodge. Oh. Jesus, they changed this a lot. Retaliator immediately after a creature. Yeah, so they kept that all the same. It just works against creatures of any size.
Not just rodents of unusual size.
Exactly. That's pretty good. That's a nice little change there.
Yeah.
Gonna be honest, I don't think I've ever cared about the Hunter Ranger though.
Colossus Slayer is why I'm taking it.
Yeah.
But Gloomstalker is that's the S tier.
Yeah. All right, now we're at Rogue.
Okay.
Let's go. You read this. What do you want me to? You want me to just go?
Yeah. No, that's fine. I mean, if anyone. Okay, so obviously, if you hear me, you're watching or at least are listening. I have a beef with the Rogue. I think overall they get way more right with it than they get wrong with it. I have a gripe where I feel like every other class in the game is able to do what they want to do or use the features that they have because they decide to. A paladin hits and they want to smite, they do it. A fighter wants to action surge, they do it. A wizard wants to cast fireball and they have the spell slots, they do it. sneak attack, I just think needs a path to being able to be dealt without help. I don't think it has to be an overpowered path. I just think a path needs to exist. It doesn't have to be. That's all I'm saying about it. You're no good dirty. So this does happen here.
Wrong.
I didn't know that was there. I'm sorry. I just felt my inner YouTube comment section coming out. I had to say
in our upcoming game, I'm gonna kill your character the first session.
yeah, I'm playing an open Circle of the Sea druid. Bring it on.
But they give the rogue weapon mastery, and they let you pick 2. And if you're familiar with what that is, there are 2. I forget. I think it's Nick. Maybe it's no. One is Vex, where if you hit with 1, your next attack has advantage. So that you can generate your own sneak attack potentially with that. And the path there is you have to dual wield and you have to hit both on your turn. I think that's okay. It's not exactly where I would go with that, but I think that works for me.
I can't believe I gave you a platform and this is how you do me. You open me up to the trolls.
Outside of all of it, hey, you know what? You at J&J Tabletop, at J&J, send the heat my way.
I'm probably gonna agree with you on this too. Like I've played
and seen rogues feel like they're too dependent on either an opportunity to hide or an ally not doing something they think is cool. Like if you're playing with a Battlemaster fighter and they did pushing attack because it works for whatever reason, that's the cool thing they want to do. And they're like, yeah, my bad. Like,
yep.
Now you can't sneak attack because you're standing in an open field and you were just hoping we were going to go after this guy.
So I do see one thing that they did revert. Sneak attack no longer requires to be an attack on your turn.
That's good.
Which is nice.
That was just a cool bonus.
It was just a cool little bonus that a lot of
Yes.
people liked.
Yes.
Weapon mastery is new. Now match level progression with 2014. Okay, yeah, they pretty much reverted everything back.
Yeah.
I
I don't think the class was broken at all, really. I just wanted that one little tweak to it. That's all. That's the Tasha's
is a third level feature. Yep, Tasha's, and then Cunning Strike is a new 5th level feature giving tactical options to sneak attack. Okay.
Which is interesting. Very interesting.
Advantage. You have advantage on the attack. Ally adjacent to the target. Yeah, so it still requires the same exact. You need to have a target or an ally.
Yeah,
which is a whole complaint, right? Like it's just.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I just would like just another way. And maybe I thought of maybe like a dirty fighting or underhanded fighting part of cunning action that like you could use your bonus action to inflict a saving throw, whatever that looks like. And it doesn't give you advantage on the attack. It just means you can deal sneak attack.
I get what you're saying though, right?
Path,
like the whole thing about the rogue is sneak attack, right? That's what a rogue
combat.
is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In combat, right? Druid, wild shape, right? Paladin, smite, right? These are very, very, not even top level, very base level things all about the classes. That the class is pretty much, that's what the Paladin is, that's what the Druid is, that's what the Rogue is, to some extent. And all of those things can be done without requiring your ally to be right next to them, right? Or advantage or something.
And the case can be made for, well, you need to hide then. It's like, yes, but I can't always do that.
Yes, but that's the thing. Exactly. Hiding as a bonus action is
now
cool.
That's DM dependent.
Exactly. Yes. And you're right. Hiding as a bonus action is, I think, what you historically did. But if you're not a goblin or whatever, you can't hide behind someone's legs. So there's not always the option to do that.
It's a small... It is a small gripe.
You say it's a small gripe, but I think it's pretty big gripe. Like
I just don't see any other class being dependent on that.
That dependent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I just a path. And they gave us one, and I'm okay with that.
As a bonus action, you give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on your current turn.
This is steady aim.
You can use
Yeah.
this feature only if you haven't moved. Wait,
Yeah, so it burns. It's basically a full round action, which that cost is high.
mm-hmm.
But the weapon mastery is where I go. Okay, you baked it into level 1.
Whenever
I
you
can do daggers and short swords or whatever, because I think that's the 2. Where I think the short sword could be a vex, and then the dagger can come in and be that like bonus action offhand strike.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I have the advantage from hitting with the first one, well, obviously I have advantage, so I can deal sneak
Wait, where do you
attack.
get advantage from hitting with the first one? What did I miss?
That's a weapon mastery property. So you have to pick the
okay,
right weapons.
I see. You 2 weapons that proficiency when you finish.
So
Oh,
for the
that's just what
classic-
weapon mastery does. If you hit with one, you get
Yes.
advantage on the other.
and
Got
they give
it,
it to the
okay.
rogue at level 1. It's not
Got it.
exactly what I'm looking for, but it does
But it's
accomplish
something.
what I'm looking for. So
The steady aim is nice, but I feel like it's
it's
almost
cost is
never
high.
gonna come up, right? Like,
Well, that's your ranged rogue, right? If you're just perched up high and your ranged support, or I mean,
Yeah,
you could
this
do
is-
that if you want. Because
but the fact that's like a pure rogue ability is kind of, I don't
it
know.
just feels clunky to
It
me.
feels exactly. It doesn't feel like a rogue. It feels like
I should be nimble. I should be so quick and,
Yeah.
and obnoxious and off-putting to fight.
yeah. I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
But cunning strike. This is the interesting thing they added. I'm curious what you think.
When you've developed cunning ways to use your sneak attack, when you deal sneak attack damage, you can add one following cunning strike effect. Each effect has a die cost, which is the number of sneak attack damage dice you must forego to add the effect.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So if you have 3d6, which is what you would have at level 5,
So it costs 1d6 of damage, so you only roll 2d6 instead, and you get one of these effects.
you could do one of the effects. Yes.
Okay. Disarm, you can succeed. They drop an item that they're holding. Okay. Poison, you add a toxin to the strike, forcing the target to make a con save and throw on a failed save. The target has poison condition, which is huge. But let's be honest, poison, 25% of creatures are immune to it and resist it. At the end of each turn, the poison target can repeat the save and the effect. To use this effect, you must have a poisoner kit. Okay. Trip, the target is large or smaller. It must make a dex save or fall prone. And immediately
Sorry,
after...
Battle Masters.
Yeah, right? Immediately after the attack, you move up to half your speed without provoking attacks opportunity.
So that I think there's some fun things here.
That's
It-
fun.
It feels raw, and it
Yeah.
feels like you're stepping on the Battle Master's toes pretty hard. So we haven't seen the Battle Master yet in all this playtest stuff.
But it does. But I will say it does feel rogue, right? All of
Heck
those
yeah.
things feel rogue.
I'm into it. I like having a little extra choices, little things like that. Like, I disarmed you. Yeah, that's obnoxious. You know what else I could do? I could also pick it up, disengage, and run away.
Yeah.
Now you don't have your weapon.
One
That's
of the
great.
biggest gripes I have with 5e is poison specifically, because I actually looked at every single creature in D&D 5e,
Yeah.
and about 25% of them, actually 27% of all creatures, are immune to the poison condition, and 25% of them are immune to poison damage, and that's not including resistant to it, right? So
Yeah.
poison is so not valuable because undead, literally, like 90% of the things you're going to see as a low to high level are going to be immune to poison damage. I have a druid player that loves Cloud Kill. Cloud Kill is a great spell, fantastic. Never uses it because every single time he has, they've been immune to poison damage, and
Big
it
letdown on that
feels
one.
so bad.
Yeah, it's
Right?
very deflating.
It really is. I get
that's
some
a cool
things.
thing I could do for the day.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love it. I think Rogus and Poison go hand in hand like butter
Heck
and
yeah.
bread, and they need to go together. But I feel like it's just a side effect of the edition that we're playing that it makes me feel bad about it, you know. And I shouldn't feel bad about something that I think sounds cool, you know.
Well, the thing I like about this is that that's just one of 4 choices. So if you are going up against a
Battle
humanoid,
Yeah.
without question, it steps on the Battle Master's
Yeah.
toes. So I think there's something here. I don't think this is it. I think we were going to see a lot of refinements and changes, but I think
I do love my favorite one out of these is withdraw. I think this is really cool. I think half
Yes.
movement speed is
See, now that pairs really well with the thing I was just talking about, that dual wielding
weapon mastery.
strike. Because, well, yes, because normally the cunning strike or cunning action is your bonus action. But if I do those two things and I hit, I could take one of those sneak attack die off, and then move half my speed.
Yeah, I think that's
So-
really cool. I think half
And
your
it's
speed's kind
reliable.
of redundant. Like, why? I feel like it's just because. Well, here's the other thing, right? You have cunning action, right? You have your
Well, yes. Yeah.
so it's
Well,
you're
in
doing
that way,
a
you
worse cunning action at the cost of damage.
Think of it this way, though. So let's just say regular human rogue. You're flanking with someone, you hit, you deal sneak attack, you do the withdraw thing, you move 15 feet, and now you bonus action dash to go somewhere else. There's some you could be like, I'm gonna help you this turn, I'm gonna help you this turn. I mean, you're
Yeah,
kind of
you
monkish
could.
in a way.
Yeah.
So I love movement. Movement changes the game in ways people often underestimate.
I don't know if we've talked about this, but that's why I hate opportunity attacks. Is because it makes people not want to move. You
Yes.
know. But
Yes.
yeah, I do like that a lot either way. But
So.
have you used a random immunity chart? No, I did not know that existed, and it sounds interesting to me. So now I'm going to look into it. No one knows until game day. Fantastic. WotC is like, let's put paint on a used car and call it new mechanically. Yeah, and to be fair, this stuff is it's not a used car. It's just you're stealing a car from another class, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what you're doing. But
Pretty much.
but
And
some of
it's
these-
it's on brand for the rogues.
it's on brand, exactly. It's on brand. But I do really like this. I think that's unique, and when I read it, I think rogue, right? That's what's important to me when I'm playing a class. I want to feel
Yes.
like that what I see on the TV, what I think of in my brain when I think of this. I want to be able to do that, and this is what that achieves, which is great. Not
The
the
only thing
best implementation,
just-
in my opinion, but
Yeah, I just hope that because it does step on the battle master's toe so hard. I
Yeah.
hope they do something different, or I can't wait to see what they think about with the battle master. But they might just be waiting to see this playtest feedback first.
all right.
And I don't blame them.
Devious strikes cost 2d6 damage. They become dazed. That's huge. Dazed is huge, but
This is the improved. Right?
this is the
Yeah.
improved or devious strikes. You could also knock them out, which is a con save, or they are unconscious for a minute, which is huge. But it costs 6d6 damage, so you're taking a huge risk for a very, very low chance of success because it's a con save.
On save. Yep.
But it's still, you got to weigh your options here, and I like how you're weighing you're being forced to think about what you want to do.
And it's not so many to be that overwhelming.
Exactly, right? I mean, trip and disarm are a little boring, but you get the daze, knockout, and obscure. You strike near the target's eyes and succeed a dex save. If they don't succeed a dex save, it's blinded. See, this is what I think of when I think of a rogue. A pocket sand, bah! Right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
this is super
That's what I was
cool.
thinking, like a dirty fighting kind of a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like this. I'm not going to comment on the costs. I'm not going to comment on the balance
Just
of
the
it.
concept, right?
It's the concept. The concept of this is
Yes.
fantastic. 100%. I
completely
love
agree
it.
with you.
Um,
Completely.
I'm not smart enough, and I don't understand game balance enough to comment on the balance, but I do think that these ideas are fantastic, and I like where they're going with this a lot.
Yep.
And
And the playtest feedback will should
should
them
so
some
that,
more.
yeah.
just hopefully they overall I like the things they're doing overall.
Disarm isn't boring when you fight a spellcaster with a staff as a focus.
And then you pick the thing up and disengage and run away.
Oh man.
Huh?
All right.
Did you
There's
need
your
that wand? Did you
there's-
need that wand?
There's your niche scenario, Claire. Congratulations, you made me look like a moron. Yay, everyone.
Well-
He's bad at averages. Yay.
No, but that also works when you're fighting a warrior too, to knock their
Yeah,
weapon away.
yeah.
And then it hits the spellcaster harder. But
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go into Arcane Trickster. We
Okay.
slip. No, never mind. Arcane spell list rather than the wizard list. Obviously, there's no School of Magic restriction after 3rd level, and the rogue can now change one cantrip when gaining a level. And the rogue can use an arcane focus. Okay. Versatile Trickster has been redesigned to allow you to use certain options from your Cunning Strike with your Mage Hand. The ability to give yourself advantage now resides in Steady Aim. Okay, so you can adjust cantrips as you see fit, and you can adjust your cunning actions. Mage Hand Ledgerman. Legerdemain. Thank you.
Yeah.
When you cast Mage Hand, you can control or make a spectral hand invisible and control the hand as a bonus action instead of an action. Okay? You can use Thieves' Tools. That's kind of cool with your Mage Hand.
Yeah, and sleight of hand checks.
Yeah. Magical Ambush. If you're invisible when you cast a spell on a creature, it has disadvantage on a save. That's pretty cool. I think that's really cool, actually.
Especially if you're going to remove those school restrictions.
Yeah.
It just opens the playbook up a lot.
Versatile
Arcane Trickster to me is easily the most powerful rogue. Easily.
You gain the ability to distract creatures with your Mage Hand. You can use the disarm or trip options from your Cunning Strike. You can also target that option at a creature within 5 feet of the spectral hand. That's cool. Hey, look at me.
Someone just like smacks their leg out from under them.
Exactly.
Oops.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
And then Spell Thief. You gain the ability to magically steal knowledge. I've never played an Arcane Trickster. Is that normally there?
Well, okay, I went to it and then I walked away. Hold on.
And then I walked
Spell
away.
Thief, yes. You magically gain the ability to steal knowledge, how to cast a
Oh,
spell.
okay, yeah, so that's spell casting. Okay. That's cool. I think the Mage Hand, Ledger Domain, and the Magical Ambush are freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, largely, I don't think they did too much to it, but I also don't think it needed really anything.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now, it looks like it's the same damn thing as it is in 5e right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
But, I mean, it's just a good subclass, I guess. Who knows?
I didn't look at Assassin, and I'm excited about that because I feel like Assassin is often overvalued.
Oh, let's see. Assassinate now gives advantage on initiative rolls, and the extra damage of the feature no longer requires the target to be surprised.
Huge.
That's huge.
Huge.
Literally huge. Do I have that sound effect? I don't. Damn. Infiltration expertise. Combines infiltration expertise and imposter from the 2014
That's
subclass.
what I've got.
Oh no! Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Envenom Weapons is a 13th level feature, allowing you to use a Poisoner kit. Okay, and Death Strike no longer requires the target to be surprised. It now relies on your sneak attack solely. Okay, so Assassinate. You have advantage on initiative rolls, and during the first round of combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken an action or hasn't taken a turn. Your sneak attack hits any target during that round. That target takes extra damage of your weapon type equal to the rogue level.
So it's not a crit,
No.
but it's much more likely to happen.
Yeah.
Because originally it was you have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet. That's the same. In addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit.
That's...
So, I mean,
They
it would
got
be
rid
great
of that
when it
entirely.
procced.
Yeah.
It would be great when it procced, but I feel like it just didn't happen nearly as often as you would hope.
Yeah.
We
You're an
had
expert... Oops, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we had one situation where we have an assassin rogue in our Ancient Relics and Hoki Religions game, and had a nice assassination arc that he did, and it was beautifully executed, just one shot. Like he had an assignment to do, you know.
Yeah.
It was like very dark Brotherhood, and it was awesome. But like it was, I think we're level 10. We started at level 1. I think I'm struggling to think of another time it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's
I
a
might
good
be
point
wrong
to
with that,
consider.
but-
I never would have... I'm not a rogue
think-
player, so...
You think it would happen more often?
You would. Yeah. Because when I think of that, I think of flat-footed. You know? When I think of
Sure.
that... I go back to flat-footed days. Not
That's
a thing
3.
anymore.
Third, right?
3.5.
Because I used to play Star Wars Saga Edition, which they would do similar things, but
Yeah, when
it
I
was in
think
between
of,
3.5 and
I
4.
think it's 3.5, maybe Pathfinder. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but the flat-footed condition, it's just a modifier. So it was probably 3.5 because it was a modifier, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I go back to when I think of this stuff. But now it's just, doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, I guess that's a good point. I wouldn't consider that. All right, infiltration expertise. You're an expert at posing with someone. Same exact thing as it was. Inventive weapons. When you use the poison option from your cunning
that's new.
strike, the target takes 2d6 poison damage whenever it fails a save, and it ignores resistance to poison damage. Okay, still have
That
the immunity
actually replaces
issue.
the cost.
It does. You're
Right, 'cause
effectively
it was
dealing.
1d6?
You're dealing an extra d6 rather than losing a d6.
But only if the save.
But only if the
Works.
save works. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I still think they need to fix poison. I still think they need to fix it, but
It ignores resistance. Yeah, there's.
because I didn't look into resistance. I looked at immunity.
Yeah.
You
and it's
know,
just too much.
Yeah.
No, I think there's a lot of stuff. I think fire is such a fun mage fantasy, and
Yep.
it's all over the place with resistance and stuff.
Yep.
So
Exactly. But I also think D&D needs more vulnerabilities. I think that's fun too. Dealing extra
missed.
damage.
I feel like this is a system flaw,
Yeah.
because it's like there's just 3 levels, or I guess 4: immune, resistant, normal, vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so like vulnerable is just everything is doubled. It's like things can get insane really fast.
Yeah. I think
And so they're like, do we do that? Like if there was a little more nuance there, I think you'd see it.
I
more often.
understand why it's not a thing really, but at the same time, resistance is so freaking far and wide with everything. It's so
Yes.
sweeping. I feel like vulnerability is so not like it's just literally it's like a
No, you're
side tiny note in like thousands of pages, which just is a bummer to me.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? I just hit the white dragon with firebolt. Shouldn't that be?
Shouldn't that
more?
do? I'm firing.
think.
I'm casting burning hands at an ice elemental.
Yeah,
Like-
you'd think. You'd think, but no.
Yeah. All right. Death Strike. When you hit with a sneak attack on your first round of combat, the target succeeds a con save, or the attack damage is doubled. That's a 17th capstone right there.
Mm-hmm.
Swashbuckler. Panache has redesigned. Dashing Strikes replaces Elegant Maneuver and gives you an additional Cunning Strike option. And Master Duelist has been redesigned to allow you to make an additional attack, providing you meet requirements. All right, let's look at Panache. Goad. The target must succeed a Wisdom saving throw until the end of its next turn. Wow, that's worded weird, or I'm reading that weirdly. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw, or until the end of its next turn, the target has disadvantage on attack rolls against others than you. That's worded really annoyingly.
This is
And can't take opportunity attacks. So it's
I mean,
a taunt.
This is kind of like the goading. A taunt, exactly. Kind of like goading attack for the Battle Master.
It is literally that. And awe. Each creature of your choice within 30 feet must succeed on a Wisdom save or have the charm condition until the end of the next turn. Doesn't the charm break on damage? Or is that just the spell?
I think that's the spell, but I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I see no world where you are in combat with an enemy and they're now charmed with you where that is helpful.
A charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. So, Glaric, only 124
but there's-
creatures in 5e with vulnerability. Thank you for that.
124? That's not many when you think about it.
So each creature of your choice within 30 feet of you, potentially, I mean, obviously there's a saving throw, but they can't target you until the end of your next turn.
So here's my thought on that, though, right? When are you using this? because it only lasts a round.
If you're
It
in
lasts
mob,
6 seconds.
It's a getaway thing. It's a defensive thing. It's like a I'm cornered thing. Like there are times when it could be useful.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It is niche. I mean, but sometimes that's kind of how subclass stuff works.
No,
sometimes.
I guess you're right.
This is Sanctuary, but better. Think of it that way.
But it's not though. But it kind of is. But it kind
They
of
can't
isn't.
attack you.
Yeah.
Fail wisdom save.
I
can't
guess so.
attack you.
The only thing I can think of about this is if you guys get into like a tavern fight, right? And you just like stab someone and be like, "Don't fuck with me," and you stab them and you charm everyone because now they're scared of you, but they're not like, you know what I mean? Like,
Like, wow, he's so great at stabbing.
exactly. I'm impressed. I'm gonna get out of here now. Like, that's the only scenario I can think of in my very, restricted mind. But yeah, whatever. I guess you're right. That is a get out of danger free card potentially. But then again, I think Charmed is very heavily resisted as well. Never mind. I don't know. I'm going too deep into it.
Don't try to do that against the Fae. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think dashing strikes. Let's see. Parrying stance. Roll a d6 until the start of your next turn. You gain a bonus to your AC. That's pretty cool, but
That could be really strong.
yeah, it could be 1 to 6, so it could be very not strong or very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no save to that.
I'd
It
rather
just
see
happens.
2d4.
You know what? Yeah, I was about to say I would rather see that because a d6 is it could just be not good, right? Like, but 2d4 is also pretty big.
You're averaging 4 at that one, so that's
Maybe a d6 plus 1.
d4 plus 1.
Yeah, d4 plus 1. 100%. Because, like, if you just get 1 AC for losing 2d6 of damage,
It's like rolling healing potion and getting double ones.
it literally is like that, yeah. Invigorate. Choose a creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself until the end of that creature's next turn. Whenever it makes an attack or saving roll, you can add a d6 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw. Okay, that's nice. I mean, it costs you 2d6.
Kind of inspiring.
It's pretty much.
Yeah, so whenever it makes an attack roll, so it's not once.
Until the end of that creature's next turn, whenever it makes an
Right.
attack roll. So you're giving them inspiration, effectively.
But I don't think it's. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's limited to one. So at level 13, if you're
every
alongside
attack.
a fighter,
Yeah.
if you're alongside a fighter,
Yeah.
you want to action surge because you can add a d6 to all
That's a good
6
point.
of those attacks.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
You could Nova this
That's
thing with
pretty
your
big.
Great Weapon Master.
Yeah. You know what? That's pretty good. I do think that's worth it. I didn't realize it was all attacks. I thought it was one attack, but that's pretty big.
If I'm correct, I might not be.
Hey, we're reading the same thing, so who knows? All right, let's go to the thief now. And this is the last thing we're doing, and then we're calling it. Actually,
I think it's good.
yeah, let's call it after that. Fast hands now lets you use an object action instead of the search action. It also lets you use a magic action to activate a magic item. I always thought that was underwhelming in my opinion, but I get it. I think the reason I thought this was underwhelming was because I homebrew bonus action potion and everyone says you're undermining the thief rogue, and you're right, I am, but at the same time it's boring, right? Like
It's it's an extremely common house rule.
yeah.
We do a variant where if you use your action, you get maximum results of the healing potion.
Yeah, that was a comment on one of my videos.
And if you do a bonus action, you roll.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good homebrew rule I'm probably going to be using in the future.
I personally do favor using it as an action, but I think that's a limited view of how cool this could be, because a lot of objects use an action to do their thing.
Yeah.
So if you have a magic item that takes an action to do the thing, now it's a bonus action. It's DM dependent. You don't
That's
know
a
what
good
treasure
point.
you have. You don't know what treasure you have.
Yeah, I guess that is going to be up to the DM to make it worthwhile, right? Like, because let's be honest. There's only so many times you can interact with a statue in a dungeon, you know, as a bonus action instead of an action, right?
But if there is some kind of, I just keep thinking of like a wand or something like that, like a wand of magic missiles. Well, I mean, is there things? Can you ignore stuff like that later on? I would just, you know, well, now you can
I
cast
don't know the
magic
game
missile
well
on
enough
a-
to know that. I was just gonna say that there. There it is. I'm not smart.
No,
I don't know enough about the game to know that.
No, oh, okay. Level 13, use magical device. So there's certain things that pairs well as it goes up there. You could cast an action spell scroll as a bonus action at level 13.
That's
bonus action
nice, yeah.
fireball or whatever. You know,
That's really nice. Yeah. You need to have access to scrolls and stuff, but that's pretty freaking huge if you can get that to go. Like,
at level 13, there's a decent chance you'll either have it or be able to buy one. Or...
yeah.
And that's the kind of thing DM should be considering, right? Like, if you can just give them access to purchase.
You know, that's a good point, and I think a lot of the
That's the fantasy. That's what makes the class cool.
I think a lot of more niche things like this are DM dependent to make it fun.
It's like divination magic.
You know what? Literally the entire divination school of magic, 100%.
Kind of is, right?
Like, it literally is. And I'm not gonna trash people for it because, let's be honest, it's hard to come up with stuff on the fly if you didn't prepare stuff like that. But like, it is up to the DM to make stuff like that fun. Although at least with this, you know ahead of time that they're gonna be doing this, right? Like, so
just give them something.
Yeah, exactly.
Just throw them a little.
Just throw them a bone. Yeah. Throw me a frickin' bone.
Yes.
Frickin' sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their frickin' heads.
Yes.
Oh man. Okay, second story work is pretty much the same. Climber, jumper. Supreme sneak stealth attack. If you have the hide action invisible condition, this attack does not end the condition on you.
My brain just froze.
If you end the turn behind 3/4 of total cover.
Where are we?
9th level Supreme Sneak. You get a cunning strike option where if you have the invisible condition from hiding, when you attack, it does not end that condition.
Okay.
But you have to end the turn in 3/4 or full cover, which is very rare considering you're going to have to move in, stabby stab, and then move back to full total cover. So,
and you're already using
half your movement to get to a location, right?
Yeah, well, okay, so let's just think about that for a second. So, in this scenario, you have the invisible condition because you've hidden. So
you hit.
You already have your advantage. So you deal your sneak attack damage.
So you run up, deal your damage, or you shoot.
You should still have your bonus action for cunning action available too.
If you did it on a prior turn. Yeah.
Well, to retain it, yeah, because
you got to.
So you have to disengage and come back. Yeah, there's some funky things here.
But it would cost your disengage. Well, not. It would cost your invisible condition. You wouldn't need to disengage, right? Because you're invisible still.
Because they can't see you.
Exactly. Well,
yeah. So then you could bonus action dash to get back.
Is the invisible condition different in this one? Because technically, if you're invisible, you can still suffer attacks of opportunity currently as it stands.
It's a great question.
That's a great question. So it depends. It depends, right? If they're invisible and they don't invoke attacks of opportunity, they can run back, but they'd still have, half their movement to get to a location that is 3/4 or total cover, which is very difficult to get.
Here we go. You aren't affected by any effect that requires its target to be seen. If you are invisible when you roll initiative, you have advantage. Attack rolls against you have disadvantage, and your attack rolls have advantage.
I don't think attacks of opportunity requires you to be seen.
It doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, so they'd get an attack of opportunity. Granted, it's, whatever. But even still, like, if you go up, stab, you're using half your, let's just say half your movement to move, then attack, and then half your movement to get back, assuming the place you were at was 3/4 of total cover. I think that's probably a little bummer. I like the idea of it.
There's some clunkiness and potential clunkiness here.
But
yes.
this would solve, at least it's a potential solution for what you were talking about earlier, right? Like, maintain the hidden condition or the invisible condition for that sneak attack.
Assuming the environment provides it, yes.
Exactly. So, like,
Yes.
it's clunky. It feels clunky, at least reading it at face value. But
Yeah, I imagine, like, say, like, if you're in a forest, like, you could, from one tree to the other, you're just running by, and just like, and
yeah,
just,
I guess that's
you know,
DM
things like
dependent
that.
too, because you got to figure
It's
out
the
what
environment.
what is total cover to them, right? Because I don't know any DM that like implements heavy cover frequently in combat, unless there's unless I need to do this for some reason or it makes sense. In 5th edition, I feel like cover is very underused. You know.
Yeah, when I put together a map or a combat, I think like, okay, these things, if you hide behind them, are half cover, or this is. I try to think of that stuff ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I might say like, these things look like things you might be able to hide behind. Or
I mean,
use
even if I'm thinking like to like Critical Role, right? Like you watch Matt Mercer DM, and I'm just using him as an example. I think I've seen them mention cover like 5 frickin' times.
They really don't.
You know,
do
and
it
that's
very
not me
often.
trashing on the guy at all. It's just me like, that's what I view of like the world of D&D, right? If it's not frequent on Critical Role, it's probably not frequent in the actual like community, right? And
For
that
a lot of people, yeah.
it's kind of a bummer to think that and feel that, but honestly, it kind of makes sense, right? Like,
It's also a pretty common ground to reference to.
yeah.
'Cause a lot of people have seen it.
But I think this is great. I think this fits the thing that we're looking to do with the rogue, right? The thing that you mentioned that was a problem.
Yes,
Just
more
clunky.
paths.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to see it in action. That's what playtesting's for.
Yeah. Use magic device. We already went over this. And these reflexes, you take your first turn at a normal initiative and your second turn at initiative, so you get 2 turns. Yeah.
Hold on. Look at that charge part of use magic device.
Whenever you use a magic item property that expends charges, roll a d6. On a roll 6, you can property without that's huge.
That's cool,
so
isn't it?
so is a scroll a charge?
Well, it's the scrolls is next.
Scrolls, you can use any spell scroll using intelligence saving throw.
I would say no, it doesn't. It's
Yeah,
not
it doesn't.
charged,
Okay,
no.
bummer.
I would say,
Whatever.
yeah. That would be my ruling if I was the DM.
I mean, that's still pretty cool, though. You could have a wand of magic missile the entire damn campaign. You know, necklace of
Just keep rolling
fireballs.
sixes.
Yeah, exactly. Man. All right.
Does
Quick
beefy.
recap. Between Bard, Cleric, Druid, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue,
Yes.
who's the number one winner?
Ooh, define winner. Got the most attention.
Who got the let's do it in categories, right? Who gained the most from this? Who was elevated the most from their current position in 5e?
Oh, it's a great question. My instinct says the monk.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first thought.
I would agree with you. Because
I was considering monk or druid.
I would agree with you, but why do you think that?
I just think the monk got so many quality of life improvements, that metabolism feature that lets them do their short rest.
Yeah.
The minute short rest thing. I mean, when the key is dependent there, just more uptime doing the cool things.
Mm-hmm. I think when we were going over the monk, I think the like we mentioned, the small quality of life changes that they got seemed
adds
negligible and small when we read them, but put together, it fixed so many problems that the monk seemed to have.
That martial arts die being bigger to start too.
Exactly, just the movement, the dash and the disengage. You know,
Yeah.
the options.
I'm not saying it's broken.
Bards because the movie.
Then the monk.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's my first thought there. How about you? What are you thinking?
I would agree with you. I think the monk just. I didn't think the monk had a problem going into playing from 5e, but I'm not coming from a game design standpoint. You know, I'm coming from a DM standpoint that's dealing with a monk with sentinel and very powerful magical weapons. That's where I'm coming from, right? I'm DMing that character.
Okay.
So I didn't think the monk had much of a problem. everyone that tells me the monk has terrible problems, and I probably just gear my monk up with way too many magic items and stuff to make him really fun and fix those problems. And now that I'm thinking about it,
Right.
now that I'm thinking about it, I did make at least one or two of these changes in my actual game. Now that I'm thinking, you know what?
Well, I guess it's fair to
Yeah.
ask the question, why did you make those changes?
You know, you're right. And I didn't think about this because I just realized, man, this monk's so damn strong. What the hell am I doing? But thinking back to it, some of the changes that are in here, I've implemented in his class just by like way of like here you go. You did something cool. Here's a feat that gives you, some cool boon, which is effectively what's in this. So I guess I've kind of patched the monk in my game similar to what we have here. So I agree with you. I think monks definitely walked away the biggest winners here.
That's my first. That's my first thought on it. At least this is really our first. Been out a day, so
yeah, that's fair. I want to say the bard got. Okay, so that's the winner. The winner we have the best lifting up was the monk. I think we both agree on that. Let's talk about the most attention. Who got the most attention?
How do you differentiate that? What do you?
What got the most changes? What do you think had the biggest sweeping changes to their class? For better or for worse? Although I think most of these are for better.
Sweeping changes. The druid got some big ones, I think. I mean, bringing the wild shape back in known forms is nice. The potential to have a warrior druid sentinel polearm master with elemental fury
fair.
damage.
Okay, if we're going with the most broken, druid got the most broken. We know that.
I'm just kind of thinking that that's pretty.
It's going to get nerfed.
Are we including subclasses?
Yeah, everything in it. Yeah,
Circle of the Sea. I think what got the most changes, if we're including subclasses. Oh gosh,
Oops,
maybe
don't look at that. Oops.
Maybe I even should. It's either the monk or the druid for me.
I'm gonna say the bard.
They get the single biggest core change.
Exactly, because just the spell list alone is math, because it opens up the door. It's not just the spell list. Like magical secrets, you don't have to pick a healing spell anymore, right? You can just have those naturally with being a divine caster, and then pick up fireball or primal, right? Like and then maybe you can pick up Tasha's hit mind whip or like other things with magical secrets. I think they had the most what's the word, potential because of that huge sweep change, right?
Yes,
it's one change
already pretty wide open, but it's
massive.
Even more.
Yeah.
And I think that's fun. I feel like that's what a bard is. A bard doesn't have its own identity, but you just find them.
A bard makes their identity as they're leveling up. Yeah.
Yeah, and lore bards, that's kind of always been my thing. I just think I love the support class fantasy. I love being able to be the person that has the right tool for the job at the right moment.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Last one.
Okay.
That's quickly. Was there any loser here? Did any one of them you think lost anything?
Okay.
I think
maybe the paladin.
I'll go first here if you want. I think that most of them stayed pretty level with where they're at, and if not got raised up. I think the only thing I can say negatively is, like you just said, the paladin and its smiting. I understand the reasoning behind it, but it's just a flat nerf, right? That's all there is to it, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a nerf we've seen. Are you talking about like only once per turn?
I'm talking about I'm talking about having to use your bonus action cast spell rather than just a spell slot to empower an attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a once per turn thing, Yeah,
I think it was something that I kind of think is good for the game to be honest. But I do think that if I had to pick one that I got hit with the nerf hammer a little bit, I think I would choose Paladin.
All right, I lied. Last one. Which one's your favorite?
Like my favorite changes?
Yeah. You don't have to have a reason. Just what do you feel calls to you?
I want to play a bard, a divine bard. I want to mess
divine
with that,
bard.
all sorts of craziness.
Yeah.
Like I just do.
That's
Spiritual
fair.
weapon. Yeah, I want to. I mean,
You know, I think that's really cool. Like, it's so much potential, right? Like,
because you could like a valor bard. Like to me, a valor bard is that's your gish right there.
yeah,
That's your warrior.
Yeah.
Mage. But now it's a valor bard it's like a cleric paladin. What is this?
Yeah,
This is
yep,
something, you're weird, man. What are you? It's like,
it's weird. I'm not a girl, but I'm not yet a woman, kind of thing, and not really about it. Like,
I don't know. Dating myself with my references. How about you?
How
about you and your favorite change?
Listen, I think you expect me to say druid.
I don't know.
I think the druid changes are very interesting, but trickster cleric. I want to play a trickster cleric so bad.
Oh man,
it looks so fun, and I just bop, I'm over here now. Over here, bitch.
This is the real me now. This is the real me. This is the real
me. Imagine, okay, like a subclass where you're imagine you're a druid, moon druid. Over here, bear, boom, like, and you have 2 spectral bears. There's so much there.
Yes, so much there, and I think that would be an incredibly fun villain to put at your players too.
Oh my god, that's so fun. But yeah, that's
feature.
mine.
Give that feature to a hag.
Yes, it's so cool.
So many things.
Oh man,
there's a lot of fun things in this. Overall, I like the direction.
1 out of 10. What do we got?
Oh, for an overall.
Overall, what do we got?
I'm gonna give it because there are some raw points, but I think that's also part of playtesting. I think I'm gonna give it. I'm trying to decide between a 7 or an 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it a 7 just because some things seem raw and do need the playtesting.
I was thinking about 7 to 8 too.
Yeah. 7 plus.
Yeah, let's go 7.5.
Yeah, that's
because I there's things I don't like about it that are I don't blame them for things being raw, right? I like the idea, I like the concept, exactly. What I do blame them for is things like I don't like Smite not being free. You know, they're not.
Yeah, that's got you, huh?
It really has me. It really has got me because I feel like that's kind of the paladin thing, right? And I'm not losing 2 points because of it, but it's one of the points, and the other point is being lost probably because of oh shit, what was it? I'm zoning. Where the hell?
It's late.
Oh, probably because of underwhelming changes to other things. You know, things like the Ranger really didn't get much concentration on Hunter's Mark. They added damage to the pet attacks, which is cool, but you know, Beastmaster, aside from that, really boring. It's still the same thing. I'm still gonna go of Gloomstalker, right? Like it didn't give me a reason.
S tier got more S tier.
Exactly.
Not what I want to see.
It didn't give me a reason to want to play a Beastmaster. You know, some of the things are that, like everything they put in, I understand and makes sense, but the things that they left alone get heavily overshadowed by other things, which I feel is a bigger problem in the sense of this playtest, because there's no reason for me to want to play some subclasses over others. Not like the Beastmaster has nothing interesting that I'm interested in at all. And
do you like companion classes?
I love companion classes.
That says a lot then.
You know, I mean, they fixed it in Tasha's, but they didn't do anything here to make it better. You know, and I get it. It's not bad. it's really not bad. Like when we went over it, like you just math stuff out for me, it's not bad. It's not. It doesn't feel good though when I'm looking at other like subclasses, you know. And
to me,
that
if I was gonna play a companion ranger, I would gravitate towards Drake Warden.
100%, 100%.
Because it has identity.
Yeah, exactly.
Beast of the land, beast of the sea, beast of the air. It's like,
Yeah.
tell me it's a freaking wolf. Tell me it's a bear. Like,
Yeah.
give me 8 options. Is that really too much?
I want, in that one specifically, I want uniqueness in the pets. Beastmaster, I don't think about making myself stronger. I think about making a bond with my pet stronger or my companion stronger. And right now,
and that teamwork is the story.
Exactly, and there's none of that there aside from Hunter's Mark, you know. And I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity again. Again, I'm not a game balance guy. It's just I feel this is my feelings, okay, and they're valid.
But would you agree with me about would you prefer Drake Warden just because of the identity?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's a freaking dragon, man.
And I think a part of me that gets lost, and I know it's just mechanic wise, but not a spectral, but like a Fey companion beast that pops away when it dies and comes back. I think that's a huge fucking cop out. For like, I want Trinket, and when Trinket dies, he's gone, and I mourn the shit out of that guy. I want it to suck when that happens. I want to be attached to this thing like my own dog, you know. And then when it goes away, I want to be distraught for a while, and then, but I get that's not what a lot of players want. I get it, but
even if you like mechanically put in a grieving period,
but that would be that's too nitty gritty though. Like they would never do that.
I'd be into it.
But you know, I'm about that. Let me feel pain, man. I love to give my players pain. I want to see my players cry. I enjoy that, and I hope my players enjoy that. Because if not, I'm a mean person.
Because I do it to them.
Because I do, you know.
Well,
but
I think
you know.
I think you can. They don't have anything.
There's no mechanic way to do that. Anyways, that's my thoughts on it. We've gone too long. I gotta go eat something, so I'm sorry to cut it abruptly.
You're fine. They do have, if the beast dies, you can obtain a new companion by spending 8 hours magically bonding with a beast that isn't hostile to you.
Yeah, right. Tell me that's not okay. Why am I sad about my companion that is my entire class being gone
today,
now?
Here tomorrow.
Exactly, right? So, yeah. Anyways, thank you for joining me, Jake from State Farm. Actually, at J&J Tabletop. It's in the description. Go check him out. Super cool dude. Super cool channel. Josh is also there. Not as cute as Jake, but not bad. At least a 7 out of 10.
Just like the playtest.
Just like the playtest. 7.5. All right, I'll give it to you. I'll give you a 7.5. Overall, the channel is probably a 6.5 with Josh on there, but overall above average. Anyways, go check out J&J Tabletop if you haven't already. And
hit the subscribe button here too, nerds.
That one too.
Please worth it.
That's right. And I'm gonna go eat food. Thanks for hanging out, Jake.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good night, everybody. I don't have a button on my Stream Deck for that. I'll just do it manually.
It's like, and my big reveal is ruined.